Previously on Twin Portals.
Our last episode brought SWOJ to a soiree put on by the heads of House Cassalanter, some of the wealthiest nobles in Waterdeep. The four heroes all dressed to impress, or at least to make impressions, while they sought out doppelgangers rumored to be hidden among the partygoers. They brought their Zuber driver, Terry, to the shindig, who now animates the body of a dead, stray dog. Amalia Cassalanter took SWOJ aside and offered to pay them extremely well for their services in locating the Stone of Galore, a magical artifact said to hide the location of a hidden hoard of gold. Scoot, meanwhile, embarrassed her brother Victoro at the gambling table. Ilka and Lark's noble relations made an appearance before the party was interrupted by cultists, raiding the villa and causing chaos in the ballroom. These cultists seem to be led by Ilka's mysterious body double, whom they call Zilka, and SWOJ pursued her to the roof of the villa. As moonlight struck Lark's skin, he began to change form into something silver and hairy, and the party dragged him into a hole in the attic for safety, only to be attacked within by a hulking, chain-wielding demon. The creature faced off with both SWOJ and Zilka before being subdued by their combined efforts. From across the attic, a door slammed open, marking the arrival of a worried Amalia and Victoro, who claimed that the demon was their missing son, Osvaldo Cassalanter.
All right, how are you going to start this one?
Let's start it. What's going to kick us off?
Yeah. Little face slap.
Little face slap.
Yeah.
Start the heavy breathing, get those lungs activated.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody.
Thanks, Matthias.
Where we left off in the Twin Portals adventure, the three of you, were standing in the attic of the Cassalanter villa.
Okay, hold up. Before you do this.
Yes.
Yes. What are you going to put in your intro that's going to get doubled up by this?
Yeah, probably a lot. All right, well, we'll just start with the action then.
No, we need a recap. I think we're...
Yeah, I mean, it's good for us.
You should recap for us first,
Sure.
But then give us a hard cut so when we're
Sure.
starting off, so then I can just put these two together.
And the two Cassalanters, Amalia and Victoro, had just burst into the room and laid their hands on the red circle that was surrounding the hulking person and said, "Please don't hurt him, it's our son." And they're not even paying attention to you at this point. They're just worried about this magic ring that's around this figure who's getting chained down magically. These chains are wrapping around his body and kind of pinning him to the ground, and he's down on one knee and he doesn't seem like he can move anymore. These chains are no longer under his control. So how do you react to this? First, the three of you in the room.
Yeah, go ahead.
I scoop up that rapier.
Yeah, great. It's a beautiful rapier. It's kind of got this like quicksilver sort of blue tinted blade. It's got a big infinity symbol for a crossguard. It's gorgeous. It's obviously magical. It kind of hums with energy.
This is awesome, and I try to slide it into my scabbard.
Fits.
Oh, Scoot, look at this sword.
Is there anything else on the ground? Broken pieces of wood or anything like that?
Yeah, there's plenty of broken pieces of wood.
I grab up one of those, and I guess that's what I'm taking.
A plank?
Yeah, it's like, and I try to shove that into the inside of my belt on the side of my hip.
Yeah,
just to show off. Yeah. Oh god.
Great.
Right in my open chain wounds.
As your rage kind of dissipates.
Well, I think I get it for another 6 seconds after that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You were so determined to take one of those chains as a souvenir.
Really was hoping I had myself a nice fancy magic whip of some type. But now, seeing these things slap this 9-foot beast down to the ground, just like controlling, I'm starting to think maybe I don't need that in my life.
It's better where it is.
Maybe
the wood splinters do 1 damage to you, but you're raging, so it's halved, so you actually take 0 damage. Yeah.
0 splinter damage. All right.
Ilka, what about you?
It's got to fester.
I have many questions for Amalia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just holding Zilka's unconscious body. So I'm going to walk over still holding her and ask Amalia, what happened to your son?
She's crying as you say this to her. And she kind of looks at you for a moment and then just looks back down and seems absorbed in her own thoughts. And Victoro kind of gestures to the three of you and says, "Would you come with me to the door that they came from? Like, get you out of the attic."
Is it a door or is it the hole that was not?
They came through a door on the far side of the room.
Oh! All right.
Yeah, where there's a trap door that you can see through.
That makes sense.
With light coming out of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And I guess our work is done here with this fella on the ground. So I give that circle a nice wide berth and make
Yeah.
my way over towards the door.
Yep. And and Victoria's watching you as you step. Like, don't even. Okay.
I'm not. No, I'm not even messing around with
He
it.
seems much more in the moment than his wife.
Oh,
I will follow. I'll follow Victorio and Scoot out, but I'm going to keep practicing like drawing the sword for justice, and then I'll slide it back in. For justice, I'll take it out and like do a pose each time.
I was gonna say if this giant plank seems a little awkward getting down a trap door from an attic, I'll probably leave it in the attic. Hopefully, not taking any more damage.
It's like that big. It's like an 8 foot by 1 foot
Okay.
or something. Like how?
I'll leave
What
it.
size of plank do you want here? Okay.
Now none. I'm not taking that. No, I'm not gonna take that.
And
Great
you,
improvised weapon.
Ilka, you fireman carry Zilka with you.
I will
Yeah,
help.
I'm gonna shift her. Well, Scoot, you probably can.
Yes, I will assist you with that. That seems more
She's
up my
about my size.
Okay, yeah. Yep, I will say. You need a hand with that?
All right, and Zay, you're outside with Terry right now in the rain.
Yeah, I'm just yelling up, guy, are you coming? I'm down here. Me and Terry, we're down here, guys. Are you coming?
Can we? Oh, you're yelling.
Yeah.
And it's raining outside. You guys don't. Well, I guess.
I think they all went down the trapdoor, didn't they?
But you,
I was trying to remember the
can
telepathy.
we speak to Terry or just hear him?
Yeah.
It only goes one way.
And
He's the telepathic one, so like if he's talking to you, then he can hear your responses because he's paying attention to you. But you can't like signal him
Gotcha.
mentally.
But do we still have the foil on our heads?
Yes, you do.
So is that still interfering?
No, because that's for doppelganger specifically.
Oh,
Yeah.
Terry's better than a doppelganger.
Exactly. He's a level up.
Level up, yeah.
His telepathy.
Does Zay's calling to us perhaps spark Terry to speak to us?
Funny you should say that. Because as you're yelling into the void, Terry kind of trots around in front of you, and he's like, telepathically, he says to you, "Well, I went up into the ballroom, and holy cow, it was a crazy place in there, man. There were like people being like wrapped up in earth, like the ground was warping around. These crazy people in masks were like trying to attack people. And there was magic everywhere, and I was like, I shouldn't be here, you know." And so I went looking around for who's in charge, and I found these people with these gold outfits, and I was like, "Hey, my friends are up in the attic." I mean, I didn't say that to them, but I like pointed like a dog, you know. And I think they got the picture because they heard the noises upstairs and they went running that direction. So I think did they show up? Is everything okay?
They did. Thank you, Terry.
Good.
Did you find any balls in that room? That must have made you so excited.
Balls?
Yeah, in the ballroom.
No.
Aw.
Sorry, I was
kinda think
distracted
that's a misnomer.
with all the action.
I'm going to insert a silence.
A little cricket noise. Yeah.
Oh,
And then the three of you hear Terry's voice kind of like projecting out, like, "Hey, you guys! It's Terry! Still in there, right?"
We're going downstairs with Amalia and Vittoro to find out more about the creature that we just fought.
Creature?
Yeah, it was
Whoa,
crazy.
What was it?
It was 9 feet tall and covered in chains.
It was their son.
God. What?
He wasn't feeling well.
You didn't really take after his mother or his father.
He's not himself.
Holy cow. Want me to come up there?
Of
Yes.
Can I whisper something to Lark real quick? Is that, I mean, when we're going down the thing, wouldn't it be a great time to get Terry a body? There's all these bad guys.
Oh, that's a really good idea, Scoot.
I know.
Let's swipe one.
And then Terry
Sure wish I was there
realized
to
that.
advise against
Terry
that.
realized that to you. So he's like, "I'm going to go in again. I don't see anybody by the door right now, so I think we can get in. They're not going to kick me out."
All right, I'm going to follow. Terry, lead the way.
And you guys make your way up towards the ballroom. Meanwhile, the three of you, unless you have anything else in mind, are guided by Victoro down this trapdoor through what looks like a personal study of his and a couple of like personal, like the third floor is sort of where their rooms are, their personal chambers, bedrooms, bathrooms. And he leads you down a hallway and down another flight of stairs, which leads through a small hallway into the ballroom where the door is already flung open, like they just charged through on their way up. And you see inside the ballroom what looks like the remnants of a colossal magical battle. Like originally when you left it seemed like there were these cultists with knives that were just like shanking people and trying to like really tear the place apart, like smashing, statues and finery, tearing down the curtains, like splattering marks on the wall. However, now it looks like the noblemen have men and women have kind of taken charge of the room. They have various magical artifacts and rings and weapons of their own and spells, and they kind of like recovered from the shock and totally pinned down or knocked out all of the cultists that were attacking. And there are many unconscious cultists, a couple that are kind of restrained against the wall with like wood binding them to the walls. You notice Williford Crowell is in the room. He seems to be sort of like going around the room and inspecting these cultists and kind of trying to like draw some conclusions. And there are many Cassalanter guards that have come in wearing the Cassalanter livery that seem to be kind of keeping watch over the whole space and locking it down. And so you each see this from different sides of the room as you enter. Zay and Ilka, Lark and Scoot, and Terry. How do you react as you enter?
As soon as I can see them across the room, I'm going to run toward them.
Zay!
Oh, Lark! I like your fancy new rapier.
Thank you. Watch this. For justice. Whoosh, I draw it out.
Does it say that?
No, I say that.
Oh.
Oh man.
No, but that
Every
time,
time.
as you whip it out, it kind of like does something that you hadn't seen it do before. It's sort of like the force of the draw, like boom, almost like pulls it out of your hands. Like it has this extra energy, and it only seems to happen once in a while. Like as you keep doing it, you notice that like every like 8th attack or so, and like every it kind of like boom has like much stronger energy. Like there's some sort of magical force guiding it.
Whoa! Did you guys see that? It almost jumped out of my hand.
That's amazing.
You should practice having more
Great.
control over that.
Yeah, I think I probably better.
Mechanically, what it does is it's a +1 rapier. It does +1 on its attack rolls and damage. And whenever you roll an 8, you get to roll a second d8 for damage. And that continues as long as you keep rolling 8s. It's an exploding 8.
Neat.
It's called the Ouroboros rapier.
Oh, that's the infinity symbol.
Yep.
I guess as we're walking in, I'll say, "Don't worry, everybody. SWOJ is here, and we captured the leader of the doppelgangers." And I'll point to Scoot.
I'm not it.
No, he's carrying her. She's right there. Everything's fine.
And as you walk in, Lark, you see your parents kind of huddled over on the side of the room, and they've kind of been like looking around, like looking for a sign of you. Like once they see that you're fine, then Grim quickly takes your mother and Isabel and kind of like guides her out of the room, like kind of glaring at you, and like is like, "We're going home now." You know, he's like whispering to her. He's like, "Lark is all right. Let's go."
Don't worry, Mom and Dad. We got everything under control.
Clearly.
And Isabel smiles at you and
Bye,
kind of rolls
Mom.
her eyes. She waves, and they disappear through the main doors.
I was just gonna give him money for you.
What?
Yeah.
Dad, come back.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Well, how much do you owe?
50 gold.
I will end that quest line right now.
I'll chase after.
Do it. I will do it. Yes. Here,
Alright.
Dad,
They hear
Dad,
your
wait,
footsteps.
Dad.
I chuck you the bag of 200
Yeah.
and say I know how much is in there. I know how much you owe. Bring back what's left.
Yeah.
I flagged out my dad.
Yep. And he stops, stares at you.
I wanted to pay back the loan really quick for the dye.
Man, you're so responsible, Lark.
Thanks, Zay.
You call down the hallway.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll cautiously or carefully count out, I guess,
50 gold coins.
Yes,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, 50 gold.
What do you think of your son's lustrous hair? Aren't you
I'll
impressed?
I'll sort of
huh?
like wave my hair a little bit.
Their eyes kind of bulge at that. They're like, "Wait a minute, Lark." Grim says, "Lark, what have you done to yourself?"
I grew some long silver hair. I think it looks fetching with this hat. And my rapier, look, whooshing, for justice.
That rapier is actually quite beautiful,
Thanks.
Lark.
Thanks.
The hair, you should get it cut. It's embarrassing.
What? Dad, just take
Look
the
at
money.
yourself in a mirror, Lark. You look like an animal.
Is there a mirror nearby?
Yeah, there's a couple.
I'll
in the
look.
hallway.
What do I look like?
Yeah, he doesn't
You look kind of gaunt, and you have long hair, and your clothing is all kind of like tearing at the seams, like barely fits. You're taller. Yeah, it's quite shocking.
I'm
Kind of clarity.
Lark's a little surprised.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm a little surprised by this, Dad. But here, just for now, take this 50 gold. Books
Very
are
well.
cleared, right?
Yes, I'm actually quite amazed that you pulled this off. Thank you.
Yeah, it's from.
And he looks at Scoot. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it's
like,
from my friend Scoot's. It's the SWOJ pool, but mostly funded by Scoot.
And he looks at you, Scoot, and says, make sure you're teaching him the right lessons here.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm teaching him all sorts of
He
stuff.
definitely won that money with skill.
Crushed.
It wasn't the definition of dumb luck.
He nods, and like the faintest smile quirks on his mouth, and he looks at you, Lark, and says, I'm glad that you're all safe.
Thanks, Dad.
If you need anything else, make sure you ask first.
Really?
Please.
Can we come back to the
As
house?
long as you can responsibly, yes,
What?
you're welcome back.
What? Okay. Wow. All of us?
I mean,
Terry, come
Be
here.
civil.
We got a new home.
Oh, and Terry comes running around the corner. You're Grim just sort of like does a double take and sighs and says, "You're welcome for dinner sometime."
Thanks, Dad.
Walk
Yes.
that back fast.
Send a messenger.
Okay.
I know just the guy. Says they.
And then he guides your mother down the hallway and down the stairs.
I give
And she
the
smiles.
I give the gold back to Scoot. The remaining gold. Thanks, Scoot.
Just by
I give him a big hug.
weight, I can tell that it's accurate.
Meanwhile, Zay and Ilka in the ballroom, you've kind of been taking stock of what's going on in here, and you notice that the musician that you had shot with the gun, the band is still kind of huddled in the corner, like checking over themselves, getting their equipment together, getting ready to leave. But the woman that you shot is now in human form again. And it seems like Zardoz Zord is sort of like leaning against the wall next to her and kind of like talking her up, like whispering in her ear, and they seem to be like talking about stuff. It seems like maybe he's flirting or something. And she kind of looks familiar to you from across the room, this musician, like you've seen her before. She'd like to roll intelligence.
I probably shouldn't.
You're in the hallway.
20.
20, yeah. So you recognize her instantly as Bonnie, the barkeep from the Yawning Portal.
Oh.
She was playing the double bass.
But has an alternate form?
Perhaps.
I knew Bonnie was a badass.
What was her last name?
Zay runs
Don't know.
towards her. Gosh, I have to remember all the way back to episode 1. Bonnie! It's us! How are things at the Yawning Portal?
And she jerks up, sees you, and then kind of turns away for a second. And when she comes back, she has a different face, and she looks like the musician that she was before. And she kind of beckons you over, and she says, hey, I'm trying to keep it on the down low here, okay? That's my other
You have a side
other
gig?
alias, okay?
Okay.
And she kind of pushes Zardoz away, and he like winks at her and like wanders away.
How do you
She's
do
like,
that?
Zay. Bonnie.
I'm
you coming to-
fascinated. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely not Bonnie. What?
That's my name, Bonnie. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Here. And she kind of like walks you to a private space away from the band.
Okay.
She's like, yeah, I play music as a side gig, and I maybe stole an invitation to this party. And I just really wanted to see what, it was all about, the noble life. And yes, you're right. I'm a doppelganger. I don't know what you shot me with, but it kind of hurt.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Bonnie. It was.
I think it was Ilka, actually.
her,
Yeah. I didn't realize it would cause pain. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was kind of embarrassing to have my bandmates suddenly realize that I was a shapeshanger.
Sure.
You know?
Our goal was the shapeshifter who threw Lark off the top of a statue. It's a long story, but
Shapeshifter that
we
threw Lark.
yeah, we weren't
Lark
trying to hit
Wavesilver?
you. Yeah, our friend. He nearly died. It was terrible. So
How
we've
long
been
have you
trying to
been-
find her.
How long have you been a doppelganger, Bonnie?
Well, I was born one, Zay. It wasn't exactly something I inherited.
Oh, it's not like a
I've-
spell?
She smiles and laughs and says, No, we doppelgangers are a rare breed. I prefer the term shapechanger personally. Doppelganger has sort of an arcane ring to it.
Yeah.
Or face changer, or face swapper.
Those sound sketchy.
I kind of like the mystique of it.
Sweet. We're
Yeah.
the shape changer.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a nice thing. I'd like it if you kind of didn't share with everyone that I can do this.
Sure.
Of course not. I'm just going to tell Lark and Scoot. And Ilk already knows. And
Thanks.
I might have to tell Terry. But other than that, nobody else. Terry's our dog.
She swears on her brother.
He also used to be a different shape. But
What?
he's not a shape changer.
I haven't seen him at the
It's a long
doppelganger
story.
meetings. A dog? Dog shape changing is different than what we do.
He's not your kind of shape changer. He's a different breed. Entirely.
Yeah, he's a golden retriever.
Terry like waves with his paw as he kind of like puts us back into the room.
Head nod.
Head nod. Bonnie gives him a head nod, just like, okay.
Bonnie, do you recognize the unconscious woman slung over Scoot's shoulder, perhaps?
And I whip
As you
around.
two kind of come back into the room.
Yeah, we come back in now.
Yeah,
Does she still look like me?
She
or does
peers. Yeah, she does. She peers at the unconscious form of the other Ilka and says, "That looks like you, Ilka."
I know. That's the problem.
So I guess it could be a doppelganger. Yeah, I mean, you have to wait for her to wake up again before she can shape change. If that's the case,
What if she doesn't want to shape change?
then she won't.
So
Do you know any mages? They could cast a true sight spell or something.
Ooh, what about moonlight? Does that do stuff?
It does. It
Moonbeam?
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Is it still night out?
You can't really run away from it. I don't think it needs to be night.
Is it night out?
It is night out. Yeah, it's like midnight at this point.
And the moonlight's everywhere.
Well, the actual moonlight does not have that effect. It's the moonlight spell.
Moonbeam?
It's her druid magic.
Yeah.
Will it work if she's unconscious?
Yeah, because then she doesn't get a saving throw, I would assume.
Yep.
All right. Do we
Moonbeam her
all
right in the
agree
face.
that we're going to call attention to ourselves by casting a giant column of light? Should we secure her in some way in case it wakes her up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, was anybody paying attention in the room that I've been carrying this unconscious person now 3 laps through this place?
Yeah. I mean,
Anybody else taking
Victorio
notice?
Cassalanter's been watching you. Yeah, like he guided you in here to talk, and then you guys all kind of parted ways.
Yeah. And then we settled a debt. We talked to the band.
Yeah.
We have so many questions for you. Wait, right there.
We are truly in an MMO right now.
Well, at this point, yeah, right. He's got this like yellow question mark over his head.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
no,
there's
he's been talking to Willifort, like going through the list of like bodies and like people that have been knocked out, and it looks like none of the noblemen actually died. Like there were many that were on the ground when you left, but they've since been resuscitated, healing spells. You know, they've been brought back from the brink.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody die?
A couple of the cultists did, yeah.
Terry. Where's Terry?
Terry's right next to you.
What's
yeah, what's up, what's
him
up?
in the body of a
Okay.
cultist?
Terry, go shopping.
Holy shit, are you serious?
They're right here.
It's your call.
Okay. And he trots over and he finds this one that seems to have this kind of like ginger, like long, luscious locks coming from its golden mask. He says, "This one seems all right," and he kind of like nudges it. And at that, Willifort kind of wanders over and starts kicking at him again. He's like, "Get away from that! Get away from that!"
Just say,
Whoa, what the fuck? But
do we need to cause a diversion, perhaps? Or should we have a second ago?
Well, I was going to say I can cause a diversion if that's...
Maybe the diversion would
Casting
be
a
the
moonbeam,
moonbeam.
yeah.
And then Willifort approaches you and says, "What are you doing with that?" And he points at the corpse that you're carrying, or the body that you're carrying, Scoot.
Taking her to the hospital.
He says, "The city watch are on their way. They'll be wanting to question her."
Yeah, we're going to question her first, though, Williford.
Very well.
We got dibs.
She tried to kill this guy. We're personally invested.
Can you help us secure her to this bandstand that we're standing near? That's like a whole structure.
And as you're
That's not
talking,
like a thing.
Bonnie kind of starts like tapping your shoulder.
She's really strong.
She's like trying to like get you to like peel away from the group.
What's up now, Bonnie?
No, you can call me Bonnie. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
That's my preferred name, actually. Look, Zay, that man, and he points at Williford. She points at Williford. She says, "Look, I can kind of read thoughts. It's one of the gifts that my species can do." And that man has been incredibly calm this entire time, even when those people attacked through the windows. I don't trust him one bit. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, most of those cultists, they seem like they had this kind of frenzy in their brains. I was checking them out while I was hiding, and they seemed like they, were just doing this in a just cause, like for some higher power, but not that one. He was just watching the whole room.
Is he a... Oh,
He's a tiefling.
It's just you two?
Yeah.
Part of this?
So I call Terry over and I tell him what she just told me psychically so that he can share with the group.
Okay, and Terry broadcast that to the 3 of you.
Okay, and we're away from Williford, or we're still over?
He's kind of watching you at this point as you all kind of like look at each other.
He's been trying to talk to us for 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's like, "Please, hand over the body. The City Watch will be
Can you
taking
guys
it."
secure the body so I can
Yeah,
hopefully not kill it by casting Moonbeam?
Yeah, we're going to question the body, Williford. But also, I have a t-shirt for you. Amalia said that you should have it.
Oh, that's true.
I give him a SWOJ t-shirt.
Looks at this, and he shoves it in his pocket.
No, I think she wanted you to put it on.
Excuse me?
We talked to Amalia before. She said give this one to Wilford and have him put it on. We talked to her before. She seemed pretty excited about it.
She says the Lady Cassalanter can give me orders at her own will. I
She's
don't
gonna be
take
mad.
suggestions from street ragamuffins such as the four of you.
You're awfully rude to us. I have a question. When you came in earlier, right before everybody burst through the windows, you had these cool spectacles. What?
He's actually wearing them still.
Oh,
Yes.
I love those spectacles, but you didn't have them on when we got here.
Yes.
I'm just curious about them. Are
What
they
do you-
like?
what do
He
you
narrows
use
his
them
eyes
for?
at you.
Yeah, I'm curious about your awesome spectacles, your wire rim spectacles. Because we had a friend who met somebody who had wire rim spectacles, a tiefling here who had wiring spectacles, and I was wondering if maybe it was you.
Throw those
We have
hands
many
wide open.
tieflings in our house employ.
With wire rim spectacles?
I'm certain.
Really?
I don't keep track of their ocular needs.
Really? I feel like you would be the sort of person who would,
That's true. I agree.
Wilford.
Have
Says,
you
if
worked here
If you
for a
mind,
long
I would
time?
like to chain up this individual before she wakes up.
Oh, now you're gonna help
And
us.
he,
Okay.
he flags some guards over, some Cassalanter guards, and they start to kind of surround you, like 6 Cassalanter armed with pikes.
The moment she's secure, Zay starts to cast Moonbeam.
On who?
Zilka.
Okay.
I'm gonna move over to Victoro.
Yeah, I'd like to get Vittorio involved because he seems to support us being here and Williford doesn't.
Sure.
So it's a 5-foot radius. So anyone who's within 5 feet of her would also.
Okay. That would be you.
Bonnie, go.
That would just be me. Okay.
Yeah. If you're
Okay.
just casting it like
Yeah.
onto her.
Bonnie, you should show Zilka your double bass over there. Okay. I mean, do I have to? Oh,
I think it's a save on her part. She makes a Constitution save, right?
right.
So
She's passed out.
yeah, so she fails it. And so from one of the holes in the wall, one of these broken windows, this moonbeam kind of like almost gets sucked into the room, like magically, like touching your hand and then kind of reflecting down onto this body. And kind of like sort of like glistens and like burns up her body, and her form does not revert into anything else. If anything, the hollows of her eyes kind of get deeper, almost looking like the actual Ilka. Like she kind of decays a little bit. But she doesn't look like a doppelganger. She looks like Ilka still. As this moonbeam kind of excoriates her body and kind of like chars her hair a little bit. She starts to kind of wake up and her eyes start to flutter. And she just kind of glares around, trying to get her bearings as she looks at you and is kind of in pain, kind of writhing a little bit. She's strapped down, you said? Or no?
Whatever. Isn't it a Wolfert have her secured?
No, he didn't.
Oh, who was he trying to get secured? One of us?
He was trying to take her from you to get her ready for the city watch to come away.
Oh, well, in that
She's
case,
still
maybe
over my
not.
shoulder.
Yeah, she's on his back.
Oh, so then you're getting hit by the moonbeam too.
Sure am.
Okay. Yeah. Make a Constitution save, Scott.
Cool.
Scoot.
I would have had him throw her on the ground.
Yeah, you can throw her on the ground if you want. I mean, that's a pretty simple, as the magic's happening.
Okay, sure. I'll do
Sure.
that then.
How close is Wilford to all this?
Maybe 10 feet away.
This seems unwise. She's proven to be very nimble and agile. I feel like we should secure her immediately before she comes to and runs away.
Yeah, but she's still kind of bleary and still kind of looking around and pushing
Jump
herself
on
up.
her. Get her, Scoot.
No, you get her.
I cancel the moonbeam.
Okay, and immediately her form goes back to like a perfectly healthy looking Ilka. And at this point, the guards are starting to look at Ilka and Zilka and like mutter to each other, like, what is going on here?
Future
Wait a
Ilka?
minute.
Past Ilka?
Did we have it as fact from someone that she was a doppelganger? Did we just assume that?
We just assumed that, I think.
Well, we met her, and then several people were confirmed rumors that there were doppelgangers in town.
It's the fact that someone looked exactly like you.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you notice as you're kind of like inspecting her at this point that she has 2 rings on her finger, on her left hand, on her middle and ring fingers. One is brass and one seems to be silver.
Zay tries to remove them.
Okay, she jerks away from you and kind of like pushes herself up to stand up, just kind of like regarding everyone in the room. Unless anybody's going to do anything,
I continue
There's-
trying
there's-
to...
I'm
You grapple
unarmed.
her?
Everybody else has a weapon.
Make an athletics roll. Say. It's your strength.
At
modifier.
this point, I'm just like, you're dropping moonbeams on me.
It's a modified 1.
Okay.
I only have her by the
gets a
fingers.
1. So the two of you kind of like grapple as you start, and she kind of like pulls away from you and starts edging towards the door. But you manage to pull one of the rings off of her. As you pull that ring off, again, her body reverts into this like really decaying form, like even more so than you, Ilka. Like she kind of her skin's kind of thin in some spots, and her body's mottled where it's showing through her armor. And her eyes are very sunken. Her hair kind of grays. And then she turns and starts to run to leap out the window.
But there's 6 guards around.
Yep. I mean, she's on the bandstand right now, so she's a little bit elevated. Like, they're not surrounding her, they're surrounding you, like in a semicircle. And then she's up on the bandstand with Scoot standing next to her and Zay standing next to her. So how would you like to react as she makes like she's about to leave?
I'll grab her.
Okay.
I think I boosted her. That's a 1, audio
it's a
listeners.
nat 1.
It modifies to a 6.
She rolled a nat 1 as well, again.
What is happening?
This is so unlikely.
This is continuation of the live show.
To be fair, I feel like this all feels very weird. I feel like you were of the opinion that she was restrained. I don't think you would have brought her back to consciousness after we've all been hunting her with this much ability to flee.
Well, Moonbeam would damage her as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she was on fire.
Yep. So she jerks away from Scoot and seems to stumble towards the window a little bit, the broken window behind the bandstand. But she totally is really barely conscious and kind of like trips on her own feet as she's jerking away from the two of you and kind of face plants and kind of starts crawling up again. And the guards swarm around the stage at that point and kind of block off the window and try to, brace the exit so that there's no way she can escape. And she's kind of just on the ground looking around at all of you with this sort of sunken look. And you can hear them muttering, "What is she? What is going on here? She's like a clone of that one. Is she a doppelganger? What is this?"
She's one of the cultists. Don't let her go.
All right. And then you hear a voice from down below saying, "The city watch is here. Can I send them up?" And Victoria slams his cane, and there's this kind of rumble in the house, and they're like, "All right, they're coming in." And you hear movement down below you.
I'm gonna quickly go over to her and ask who she is.
She just glares at you.
Neat.
She hasn't said a word at this point to anybody.
I'll go for the other ring.
Yeah, which ring did I get? Silver or...
You got the silver one. The brass one looks older.
She's not going to answer any questions, then yeah, I'm just going to see how she feels about
Yeah,
that.
and she kind of fights with you and tries to get it out, but she's very weak at this point.
Yeah.
And it's easier for you to wrest it off of her finger. And as you do so, several of the people in the room kind of whip their heads over and glare as if some magical something just happened that notified them of something. There's more people paying attention around the room at this point.
Okay.
Williford is one of them. He kind of jerks over and investigates very closely what's going on. But you don't see any change in her as that happens.
All right. I guess I just kind of look at the ring and kind of, one hand keeping her away, one hand on the forearm. She's swinging her arms. But I don't have any clue about this. I just have a ring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Just kind of seemed like the other one had an effect on her. I wanted to see if this one did.
Yep.
So then I'd say, anybody know what this does?
Do either of them have symbols or anything on them?
No. They're both obviously they're both very cold to the touch. There's no symbols on them.
Then I guess I would say to her, "You're about to run out of time. Anything you want to tell us?"
She doesn't even pay attention to you. She's staring at Ilka at this point.
Oh, all right.
Just kind of glaring at her.
I'm gonna
breaking eye contact.
Zay moves over towards Ilka. Is there anything you could tell her to make her trust you? I'll plug my ears. Zay plugs her ears and starts humming.
I feel like I have just as many questions as you do. I don't know how we have the same face.
Okay, and the city watch bursts into the room from the back of the room. But as you say that to her, she kind of looks at you and opens her mouth, and instead of a voice, this kind of just rasp, like a gargle comes out of her throat, as if her vocal cords have been totally destroyed. She just kind of rasps at you. And then they rush into the room and start to pick her up and restrain her. 10 city watchmen wearing the gold cloaks of the
Where's
city watch.
Terry?
Terry's nearby, 10 feet away.
I'm gonna go whisper to Terry and ask if he can telepathically talk to her. Maybe her voice doesn't work at all.
Mm-hmm. He says, I don't sense anything from her. I can't get into her mind. I don't know what's going on.
Have we ever heard her speak?
You never have.
I don't think I have any spell that's gonna do anything with this.
Do we recognize anyone from the watch?
You do not at this point. This is the Sea Ward watch. It's a little bit different crew than you've been hanging out with.
Ooh, do we recognize everybody from the watch? The Sea Ward, that's kind of my background.
Docksward is you guys.
Docksward.
Sea Ward is the northwest part of the city where many noblemen live.
Oh, all right, then no. No.
Yeah, it's kind of the white collar cops.
Not at all.
White collar cops.
Yeah.
Nope, that ain't me.
And they're kind of swapping stories with the different Cassalanter guards. Williford kind of takes a step back towards the room and kind of like whispers over his shoulder to Victoro, and they're kind of watching everything, giving depositions to a couple watchmen. A couple of them go over to you guys to interview you and find out what happened. Are you honest with them, or what do you?
We do not.
How do you react to all this?
I think it's important that we don't reveal about what happened on the roof.
Yeah, protect the identity of the son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say, she stole 50 gold out of my bag. I'm taking this ring to even it.
They say, that ring is evidence. As soon as you show them the ring.
Oh, balls.
They're like, that ring is evidence. Would you hand it over, please, until the investigation is done?
Can I look at it for a little bit? I'll give it. I just want to hang out with it just a little bit.
Just slip it on your finger real quick.
It will
see
be
what
kept
it
with
does.
the watchful order of magisters until a more thorough investigation has been done.
Can I get a receipt,
No.
please?
No, you may not. It's the property of the city now.
Oh,
Say
what?
slips the silver ring into her pouches.
It disappears.
And when I try to hand it over, I accidentally drop it and knock it over towards somebody else. Oh, shoot! Oh, no!
And like the four guards that are watching you just kind of stare at you and tilt their heads.
I'm so
And one of them
clumsy.
walks over and picks it up.
Oh, I was
staring
gonna
at you
try to
the
get
whole
it
time.
sleight of hand.
Dang
Oh,
it.
you want to roll sleight of hand?
Yeah,
Go
I
for
do.
it. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yes!
Nat 20 plus expertise.
I'm pretty sure it rolled under the bandstand.
Yeah, it rolls under the bandstand, and like Terry's kind of hunkering down near there, and he kind of like gulps it up, and kind of like trots away before anybody can see what happened to it. And then as the guards are coming over, he kind of like yaks it into your hand. Lark.
That's sleight of hand.
Yeah, in the most weird sleight of hand situation.
Sleight of tongue.
Yeah, saliva of hand.
And Lark puts on, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
takes
was a
up
brass
and
ring? Okay.
Puts it on.
You don't feel anything different. It's cold to the touch, and there's obviously some kind of aura to it, but you don't know what it's doing to you.
Okay.
I feel like the silvery one might change your fairy self. I'm very curious about that.
Oh wait, there's the silver one?
No,
or the brass
he has
one?
the brass one.
I've got the brass one.
Right, okay. Yep.
I don't have any.
Right.
He said.
And the guards are like, where to go? Where the fuck? And they're like scoping
it's
up underneath
under
the bandstand.
And I'm mad now because you guys saw I tried to hand it over, and you guys dropped it.
And one of them pats you down. They're like, come on, you hid it in the pocket.
Look, I'm not wearing anything. What do you want to check?
And the other one's like, hey, he's got a good point, Steve. Like,
Where do you think I slipped that?
over in the corner of the room, Max, the guard messenger guy for the Cassanders, has walked in with some of the other guards. He's shaking his head, staring at you guys like, typical SWOJ. Wait till I tell the guys at the pub about this. But eventually, the investigation ceases, and they start to kind of lock up all the cultists that are conscious or unconscious and cart them away
Do we
until the
overhear
investigation is over.
them? Like, do we know where they're going to take them? Is there a way we could follow up?
Yeah, to the city watch post in the Sea Ward.
In the Sea
There's a prison below it where they're going to be locked up,
Okay.
awaiting trial.
Am I still nearby Zilka?
They're taking her away at this point, unless you want to do something to stop them or interfere somehow.
I don't know. She doesn't want to talk. She doesn't want to anything. I can detect.
It seemed like she was trying to talk,
magic.
but she couldn't. Like, literally, like, she opened her mouth, and it was almost to show you that she couldn't speak.
If we put the silver ring back on her, she might be able to. Because she deteriorated and decayed once we took the silver ring away. But if she goes with the guards, I feel like we're going to lose any chance to get answers from her.
We could try sneaking. I mean, she's already being carted away.
I know.
I feel like we should sneak into the jail or get permission to go to the jail and give it to her then. I communicate with my eyes. across the ballroom.
But Terry can't get into send her any telepathic message.
Right. Yeah. She seems to have some immunity of some kind.
What's Victorio doing?
Vittorio at this point is sort of just waiting by the door, like waving the guards through, like trying to get them out of his house.
Is Williford by him still? Or
Yes, he is. Yep.
I'm going to
finishing
go.
up their depositions.
Okay.
Which
When it seems like those depositions are done, I'm going to sidle up to Victorio.
Yeah, is he the one that wanted to talk to us?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, he says, and he kind of leans over to you as the guards are walking by. He doesn't make eye contact, and he says, "I'm sure you have questions."
We do, and it seemed like you had maybe some for us as well. So, whenever you're ready to talk alone, we're ready.
And he kind of, his eyes flick over to Williford, and Williford kind of excuses himself and follows the guards out of the room. And now at this point, it's mainly just the four of you. Terry, Williford just left, Victorio, and a couple Cassalanter guards kind of scattered around the area, keeping watch through the windows and whatnot. But it's finally quiet in the room.
Hi, Mr. Cassalanter. That was crazy. You wanted to talk to us?
Your parties are nuts. Are they always like this?
He says this is the first time a party's ended up this crazy. Yeah. No, I'm glad you were here. I'm glad that you didn't hurt Osvaldo too much. It seemed like he was all right.
Did Amalia go to check on your other
tried.
children?
They're all right. They're downstairs. Yeah, they're
Oh,
being
good.
kept safe.
They don't have his condition.
No.
And they weren't attacked or taken?
No, it seems like the attack was confined to the ballroom, luckily, and to some of the guards outside on the walls. We found them unconscious. Luckily, I was in here already, so I was able to use my magic, and many of the other noblemen are also capable fighters. Your father helped, and your mother seemed to disappear. I'm not sure where she went during the chaos.
Hopefully somewhere safe.
I don't know. But anyway, she came back eventually. It seemed like she was all right, so no harm done, so to speak.
She came back? Is she a doppelganger?
I don't know.
Now? Like, did somebody switch into her? I'm musing out loud. I probably.
So the three of you kind of joined this conversation then?
I thought we all were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's nothing else to do
It's just the
over.
five of you in here now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Once I'm sorting through rubble looking for.
Mr. Cassalanter, have you heard of these cultists before? Have they bothered you before?
Roll persuasion. Wow. Low rolls. I rolled a 2, so you're probably fine
Oh my
as far as his insight.
god.
That's a 4.
4 plus.
What's your charisma?
As long as it's not a negative. Yeah.
Why don't I ever know what these things
You're fine. It beats what you got as far
6.
as being guarded. So he softens, and he seems genuinely grateful that the four of you have been here. He says, "Look, this is a family secret. It's between me and my wife, Williford. Our son Osvaldo was missing for several years until one day he showed up at our doorstep, and in a terrible state, and died that night. When he died, he turned into that thing. I shouldn't say died. He stopped being himself and transformed into that creature. We've had him locked in the attic since. It is our belief that he joined some sort of a cult. The cult of Asmodeus has many sects within the city, as I'm sure you've heard. It's been in the news lately.
Yes. That cult.
In fact, I'm told that you had a run-in with them in the God Catcher.
We
You
did.
did.
It was in the wazoo. Some sailors told them.
Yeah, we set them free.
I'm glad.
The captives, not the cultists.
Yeah, no, we killed the cultists.
Well, it seems like there are more of them, and apparently this was, I can't imagine, some sort of a reprisal or something for keeping Osvaldo locked up.
Oh, you think that they were coming for him?
I don't know. I would assume so. We think they would go into the attic if that were the case, so maybe this was just a threat,
Maybe
some
they
sort of
didn't
a
know where
warning
to
shot.
find him.
But the woman went up to the roof. The woman who looked like me.
She did.
Was she fleeing from us, or did she seem to have purpose?
Seems like she had purpose.
Okay.
But that's a good question, Zay.
We met her on top of the god catcher.
Right. Right, you did.
Yes.
That same woman.
Yes, the same woman. She tried to kill Lark.
Well, perhaps she's a leader then. She seems to be involved in this cult.
We were hoping to question her before the guards took her away.
Of course. Well, I understand their
guard station is on the Lions, near the Fields of Glory. You could probably find her there.
Do you have any influence that would allow us to question her?
He narrows his eyes and says, I do. I could talk to one of the guard captains and get you in there.
We would greatly appreciate that.
Certainly, certainly.
How long has Wilford been working here?
Williford? Many years. Many years.
Sweet.
He's like a godfather to our children.
He did not seem very surprised by the cultist attack.
What do you mean? He was very involved in protecting the nobles out of the room. In the room, he was running around defending them.
I don't know. I think you should just be cautious with him, Mr. Cassalanter.
Our instincts are often on the mark with these.
Do you have any evidence of why I shouldn't trust my major domo?
I'm just suggesting that maybe be a little wary. Like, just think about the possibility that he might have some ulterior motives. We don't have any strong evidence, just that he behaved oddly during that attack.
You weren't even in the room during the attack. I saw you all jump out.
Well, we were here at the start of it, before we, in the most glorious possible way, exited
through the window
to go upstairs.
Really? Because it looked to me like you all jumped, flailing out the window.
It looks like that. If it's really
to the untrained eye.
Yeah, to the untrained eye, it probably appears like that.
Certainly.
But it got us to the roof, eventually.
Rolling once. He believes you. He's like, well, all right. I wouldn't question the motives of an expert.
Can I ask you a question about your the spread you had out tonight? I was wondering. I really enjoyed one of the wines that I had. I was wondering, do you have a connection with one of the families, one of the halfling families that sells the wine, or is it?
Yes, the Zubers are very good friends of ours.
The Zubers.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we're very close with them. I'm afraid none of them could come tonight. I hear their invitations got misplaced in the mail or something, but but I was, we're very good friends with the Zubers.
This was Zuber wine. It's just lovely. Guys, Zuber.
Well, I'll make sure to pass on your regards to them next time I see Blossom.
Yeah. Yes. Please tell Blossom we were here.
And at this, Williford comes back to the room and gives a nod to Victoria, like the city watch has concluded their business. And he just sort of stands by the door and waits.
Mr. Cassalanter, don't you think that Wilford would look great in a SWOJ t-shirt?
Roll persuasion.
Why bother? I'm gonna win.
Nope, not this time.
Oh, great.
Finally broke it.
Not in the important one.
8.
He says, the Cassalanters take a lot of pride in our house sigil. Especially after an event like this, I'm sure the press will be here shortly. And I would rather put on our best foot forward.
Understandable. Hey, Wilford, can I have that SWOJ t-shirt back? If you're not planning to wear it, I'll just take it back.
He says, I already got rid of it downstairs.
What did you do with
Those
it?
kids better be running around in it.
Yeah, did you give it to the kids?
He says, I gave it to Elzarina.
Oh, that's perfect. All right, that's...
She'll be through.
I don't mind with that. I don't mind that at all.
She's my favorite.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
she was awesome.
She still finds joy and fun in the world.
Yeah,
Yep.
unlike some people.
You guys don't shade.
Man.
He clucks his tongue and looks away from you dismissively.
I want to pull Lark to the side if I can, like at the soonest opportunity where it's not going to be like super obvious, and say, if this, if Blossom Zuber is such good friends with the Cassalanters, wouldn't she recognize? Like, she described the tiefling as though she didn't know him, but maybe she was just being sneaky.
Yeah,
I was thinking of a fancier word than that, but sneaky.
That's a good question,
is what
Zach. I don't know.
Duplicitous.
Duplicitous. Excellent.
I'm not sure. Hey, could you do that moonbeam spell on Wilford?
Oh, Jesus.
Possibly.
What if he's I don't know. He might not be a doppelganger.
No,
he might
I
just
already
be a
cast it
cultist.
twice.
Oh,
That's why I was hoping he was near enough.
We're
gonna
just
come
talking
back.
about stuff over here. Don't worry about us.
If you
We're
want to
literally the
cradle
only
me
ones
like a
speaking in the
baby,
room
I
right
could
now.
take a nap for a little
We're
while.
whispering really quietly.
Does Williford know about Oswaldo? Did Vittoro share that? Or are we supposed
Yes,
to
Victoria
announce
just said that Williford knows about their secret. Yeah.
Vitoro, the situation with your son doesn't seem sustainable. Now that there are people who know this woman who got up to the roof, who discovered him, is there any cure? What have you tried to bring him back to himself?
I don't think there's a cure. You see, I think our son has turned into a devil of some kind. I think the only cure is to banish him somewhere where he couldn't hurt anybody. I don't think there's any going back for him. But we've been keeping him here just in case we find a cure. Do you understand me?
So your concern is he's no longer your son.
Well, I think there's something in there that recognizes us. I think there's something of him in there still. I can't, lose that hope.
Does he respond to anything? Any
His name,
substance
his name
or magic?
occasionally,
His
yes.
name?
But only in rage, he's a creature of frustration. And he says, I'll make sure to send somebody to check in on this other Ilka. Make sure she doesn't speak about it. Because if the word got out, that'd be very unfortunate.
We agree.
Williford? And he looks at Williford, Williford's like, I will handle it, my lord.
Uh-oh.
By making sure she doesn't speak on it, I understand the easiest thing would just be to kill her. But we have to get information from her first. Just to be clear, I don't know if that's what you were suggesting.
That's not what I was suggesting.
Okay.
Dark.
It goes with the territory. So, Mr. Vitoro.
Which family do you hail from, Ilka?
She's just a one-word kind of gal.
It's like Cher. Cher.
Yeah.
Zer.
Cher. Zabritney. It's very important that we learn more from this woman.
Well, you could go there with Williford tomorrow.
Really?
Of course.
Nice.
First thing in the morning.
We do have another meeting tomorrow, but what time? First thing in the morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing we love more than hanging out with Williford.
Yep. Especially when we're well rested.
I hold out my hand for Williford to give me a high five.
He stares at you.
Don't leave me high and dry, Williford!
And Williford actually kind of glares at Victoria a little bit like, of course, my lord. He says, I will meet you at the guard post, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Let's go at 6:30.
And he leaves to the door, with a parting glance glaring at you.
I high five my own hand.
Terry trots over and bops your hand.
Aw, Terry,
Hops
I
over
knew you
one
wouldn't
hand.
leave me hanging, buddy.
Victoria raises his eyebrows and says, what a well-trained animal.
Yeah, Terry's the best.
Maybe we should get one for the kids.
Not this one, though.
Yeah.
No. And he says, very well, I must return to my wife.
Okay, thanks. Thanks,
You
Mr.
can see yourselves
Cassalanter.
out.
Yeah, thanks for the invites to the swell party. It was way more exciting than we thought it was going to be.
Yes, I hope to invite you again in the future to an actual party where we can enjoy ourselves. It may be some time that we have to patch up the room,
That sounds great.
Well, you know where to find us.
Yep.
Full Skull Manor.
Very well. And we'll be sending a messenger every week with a payment and a receipt.
Oh, your wife told you about that?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, do you have any clues about that?
About the search,
Yeah, the search.
For the dragons?
the gold dragons. Out of character, I did mention the Stone of Galore last time, correct?
Yeah, she said she
Yeah.
didn't know anything about
Yes, just to double check. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he says, the Stone of Galore. What I do know is that it came into Dagwold Neverember's possession many years ago. He was very proud of this stone because he said it was a sentient object. The stone had a mind of its own. And so he could trust it with certain magics and certain secrets because he knew that it was trustworthy for some reason. So I assume that if there's some way to find the Hoard of Golden Dragons, the stone is the way to it. Because of its intelligence, it must know inherently.
Interesting.
But I don't know where it is. It disappeared after Dagwold left the city.
Okay.
So
And we're
I'm afraid
fairly
I don't have
certain
more
he
information than that.
didn't bring it with him?
Fairly certain, yes. Dagwold himself does not know where the stone is. I have that on good intelligence that he is searching for it.
So, You say that it's sentient. Does it communicate?
I
Or-
assume so, yes.
Assume so. Oh,
Perhaps
Terry.
telepathically.
Nice.
I tighten up my do-rag.
We take Terry for a bunch of walks looking for the Stone of Blood.
Scan everyone.
Walking all over water.
Man, if you were telepathic, that would just make you schizophrenic, wouldn't you? If you had to walk down different areas each time, checking for a voice. Oh, man.
You getting anything?
Well, SWOJ is on the case, Mr. Cassalanter.
I thank you, and my family thanks you.
And
He departs. And so it's just you and a few guards in the room at this point. They're starting to kind of clean up. A couple of the tiefling waitstaff are in the room, like, not shaking their heads and worrying and fretting about cleaning the room. Ordering new windows is going to take a long time.
I'm gonna make meaningful eye contact with Terry, and then look really hard at that red-headed corpse he was eyeing, and then try to go distract the guards.
is it still there?
How do you want to distract the guards?
Strike up conversation with them about the structural integrity of their windows.
Okay. Roll performance.
12.
Okay. And you managed to kind of draw them over with your grandstanding and talking about the structural integrity of windows.
Yeah.
Like, so completely bullshitting, I assume? Like, you don't know much about windows.
Well, because I have that experience from last night of watching people be able to
Smash
break
through.
through it, and I
Yeah.
can reference these ropes and the grappling hooks.
Okay, so as that's happening, Ilka draws them all the way towards one side of the room. The guards are kind of paying attention, kind of not, but Terry kind of trots over about 20 feet away from the from the corpse of the red-haired cultist, and then you see the golden retriever body just slump over dead as it kind of twitches a little, and then the other corpse twitches into gear, and
I have to pick up the dog.
and the guards, and you see the corpse, like one of its eyes flutters open.
Oh, no.
And kind of like looks around the room at you guys. Or not the guard, the corpse, right?
Yeah.
The guards rush over to the dog and they're like, "What just happened?"
Oh, I was getting... No, I was...
Was this your dog?
Narcoleptic. It's not a big deal. He just falls asleep sometimes.
Yep,
So
I got it.
It looks dead.
No, he'll be fine.
Yep, and that's why I was going to pick up the dog and said, we got to get the dog home.
I'm standing in front of the
Medicine.
corpse.
We have healers downstairs.
Could
We
you go get one?
special-
Go. Both of you, go get the healer.
All right, and they run down the stairs.
And we take off!
Terry, let's go!
Go! Run! And then
And the Terry gets up,
Take off the
looks
mask.
around, takes off the mask, puts it in his pocket, and kind of like gives you a thumbs up and like runs over kind of awkwardly, getting back used to being a human again, stumbles a couple times, and then kind of catches himself on Zay.
Lark, put a SWOJ shirt on him.
I throw a SWOJ shirt on him.
And he puts it on over his red leather armor.
Oh, we don't have anything to cover up his head. We gotta get out of here.
Where's
There are
the
lots
tin
of other
hat?
masks in the room. There's plenty of like discarded costumes, like cloaks and whatnot from different noblemen.
Ooh, we don't have a lot of time.
And Terry's, the dog's tin hat.
Oh yeah, I take the tin hat off Terry the dog and I put it on top of Terry the long red-haired guy and grab the nearest mask and walk quickly with him towards the door.
Okay.
I've been booking it out with
Yeah.
the dog corpse.
Okay, so
Oh, maybe I couldn't grab
Scoot
them.
gets the charge of the dog corpse.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'm sure
trying
it
to
fell
get
off.
everything
So
out.
it's
Yeah.
like on the floor somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So as you make your way down the main stairway into the foyer, you make your way past a small crowd. Seems like there's some reporters that have kind of been huddling around the gateway.
Oh, I don't go
Williford
by-
and some guards.
I don't go by them.
Talking with them. It's the main way out of the... you go outside the main building into the gardens, and by the main gate there are a bunch of reporters, and Williford kind of like sharing stories, and they're asking him questions.
As soon as I see a crowd, I stop like Shaggy, just like and the tire screech and all
Yep.
that, and then I start looking for any other place to run and gently place this wonderful animal's body down, so that it
Like behind one of the hedges or something?
where hopefully it will be found and
But
taken-
not by the children.
but not by the children,
Probably
but-
by
and
the
give it a
children.
proper burial and a
Okay.
thank you for what it's done for us.
Okay, and telepathically, Terry's like, guys, there's a back gate. He's like, follow me, and like behind you, you kind of see everyone else piling out of the mansion.
I pet the dog one more time and then go.
I follow
You
him
behind
too.
the hedge. And he leads you to a back gate, which is open. There's a couple guards watching, but they nod at you.
Thank
yeah.
you.
They don't seem to notice anything weird about Terry's armor or anything like that. You're like, oh, that's SWOJ. Oh yeah, SWOJ, cool.
And yeah, I mentioned it looks like the reporters up front are getting a little bit crazy. You might
You're
want
like,
to.
yeah, we're glad we're in the back gate. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
man, yeah.
Yeah.
How about this weather?
It's gonna be a story tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you guys have a good one. All right, stay safe.
Hey, you too.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Go SWOJ.
Go
And then
SWOJ.
we leave.
Intermission.
I don't know why my
great.
persuasion just hit 10.
Being at that party really upped your culture. So the night ends and the 5 of you are in the streets of the Sea Ward.
I feel like we
Typical
should
night for SWOJ.
go home.
Do you want to go home and just rest until the next morning?
Well,
That's what-
so we got Terry with a new body.
Yeah, your cart is still there outside the manor.
Oh,
In
Terry
front.
can. Yeah, Terry's good at driving again.
Yeah.
Which was a bummer because I enjoyed that. That was fun. I was trying to up my land vehicles proficiency. Didn't get very
How's
far.
everyone doing for damage? You should go home and rest.
We're all damaged.
Yeah, if we go home and rest, I'll be good.
Terry's like, I'm very damaged, guys.
I feel like I should see an apothecary or something.
Oh, now you want to see an apothecary.
That mirror, looking in the mirror, I sort of startled myself. Yeah.
Oh, did you look like? Does the sending stone have a rear facing?
No, there was a mirror in the
Yes,
hallway
Oh.
by my dad.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it looks good.
There's one right across from Troll Skull Manor, so I can hop in there.
Stop.
At dawn, before we meet up with
Wilford?
Wilford. Yeah, let's go home and get some rest so that we can stop by the apothecary on our way to interrogate Zilka and
The watch station in the Sea Ward.
the watch station in the Sea Ward.
Yep.
So we can get back and meet with Zelifarn so you can present him
Yeah,
with his
with the
SWOJ
t-shirt.
shirt.
Are there any 24-hour apothecaries kicking around? Is there
There's
two
no
competing
there's
ones?
no ZBS. No.
No.
Right
There's
across
no
from
mandatory
Zol-
No,
ratings.
no Zelgrins?
No Zalgreens.
That's
I
unfortunate.
mean, you could find somebody. Do you want to do an investigation check?
You know
Back
what?
alley.
Since you've offered, yes, I will like to do an investigation
The world
or
is your burrito, my friend.
a history check to see if I can recall any in my.
Please.
You know what? They got the same penalty of 1, so
Zay drank a lot of Zuber wine. So
3.
she's sleeping in the
Yeah, you have pretty much never been to the Sea Ward before. So, and it seems like this place is super posh. Like, there's not a lot of street life just hanging around. You know,
Gotcha.
you're outside for a purpose if you're in this part of the city. And it's midnight and it's raining, so there's nobody out.
we got the run of the town.
What are we gonna do?
What should we do?
All right, so we're headed back to Troll Skull.
Sure.
Sounds like let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you make your way back home. Terry jumps out. Everyone's like, "Who is this?" And then he's like, "Hey guys, I'm Terry." He's got kind of a raspy voice now.
Wait. Is this what he sounds like now?
Out loud. He still speaks telepathically the same voice. But when he uses this body's voice, it kind of sounds like this.
That's great.
Never met a ginger once in my life that sounded like that.
He's a cultist, man. He's been through some shit.
He's a 4-pack a day smoker.
Breathing the incense, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. He's like, that's weird. I'm gonna go back to just the telepathy, guys, if that's cool with you. Yeah, give this one a break for a little while. I think it's been through a lot.
Story of a voice actor right there.
So are we concerned that fellow cultists are going to come, or at least going to recognize him? Or maybe we could use him to infiltrate the cult?
It seems like
Are you concerned?
we are pretty short on
So-
information to make that happen.
As we're traveling on the way to Troll Skull, I wake myself from my wine-induced stupor to ask Terry, is there anything left of the cultist that whose body you took over, or is it gone because he was dead?
He was dead, so there's not much there. I'm just kind of pulling the strings right now on this thing's brain.
So you're going to need another vessel within the week?
He says, yeah, I mean, I'll be real with you guys, actually. It's been like 2 weeks now as an intellect devourer, and I haven't actually devoured any intellects. So I think that this thing actually has a biological need for brains at some point.
Oh man.
We're about to go to a prison. Do you have any ethical problems with devouring the brain of a... Okay, present them.
He does.
Do you know how many tieflings of color are put on death row?
No, tell me.
and don't deserve it?
Tell me, how many?
And later found to be innocent?
No, how many?
98%.
All right, no tieflings.
Terry's like, maybe you could go along with the dog thing or something, but just find some living ones or some animals that you really don't like.
An animal brain will...
I'd be down with devouring a cat brain personally. Sorry, it's just true.
I'm kind of cool with that also.
Really? No pussy jokes from Scoot?
Low-hanging fruit. I just wanted to bring the Snuffleupagus or whoever. What was the
Snuffleupagus?
Sir? What's his name? Sir Pigeons No More. Who are we going to bring in?
Pog Waggle?
Pog? No. Mephistopheles.
Yeah, Mr. Not Mephistopheles. It was. I have it written down.
I have it back here somewhere too.
Yeah.
Mr. Pigeons No More is kind of my favorite.
It's like Meowthistopheles.
So animal brain will work for you if it's still living?
Well, I think so.
Why don't we
It's
go
still
to a
got the
butcher?
energy. A pigeon?
A butcher.
Butcher.
Oh, a butcher?
They're gonna get fresh shipments of animals.
Yeah, good idea. Do you know a butcher? I don't.
But I feel like there's also tons of alley cats. I mean, this is water deep.
As you're rolling down the street, a cat runs away and disappears down a side alley, kicked aside by the horse.
He overheard our conversation.
Yeah. It was actually a druid in disguise they were spying on you.
Terry, maybe do you want to pull into one of these alleys?
What?
Do you want to pull into one of these alleys, Terry, and see if there's a stray alley cat that you could
launch?
Yeah, how dire is this need for brains?
It's not that dire, guys. Maybe.
Well, you brought it up. I mean, let's take care of it now.
Guys, it's been a night.
I suppose. Okay, well, when Mr. Fluffstopheles
Fluffstopheles
from the Emerald Enclave...
Oh, no, we're not eating that one then.
We probably shouldn't. Maybe.
Okay.
That's in poor form.
Terry's like, well, maybe he knows some asshole cats or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet he does.
He's got some enemies.
Yeah.
Cats are assholes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and you make your way home. And once you get back to Troll School, the lights are lit. Taga's waiting for you anxiously. The irregulars are there, and they're up, and they're kind of like banging around the tavern floor. It's looking like the place is like ship shape. It is cleaned up. It's ready to go. They have all this like equipment set up behind the bar. They're like ready for the opening. They've been working on it hard all night. So upstairs, there's plenty of Sea Plum crew members still sleeping, but you guys can all find a spot for yourselves and rest for the night.
The second I get through the door, I pull the pins and take the wig off.
Yeah. Yeah. And your head itches like crazy.
It's horrible. I'm so unhappy.
Is Leah about?
Leah is not. She's at the Emerald Enclave at this point.
Okay. Who's running the show?
It kind of seems, well, like Pog is around somewhere, but he's not. He's upstairs somewhere.
Okay, who?
Taga's up.
Taga?
She welcomes you, yeah.
All right. Hey, Ma.
Scoot.
Hey.
Who is this?
This is Terry.
What?
It's a different Terry.
You know a lot of Terrys.
Yeah.
This is Terry with an I.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Terry.
The next one will be a Terry with Y again.
This is Terry with 2 eyes. The one before this was Terry with 1 eye.
And the next one, yeah, and then
Terry's like, well, I hope I last longer than the last one.
after that will be Terry with 1 R or 2 R's, whichever one's different. Okay?
And finally, one that starts with a silent P.
There we go.
Terry.
Okay, so how have you been? How's
Pterodactyl.
the place looks fantastic.
I think it's ready to be opened.
Yeah?
Yes.
I tell you, here's what I have right now in this sack. I want to give this to you. You get to distribute this however you like amongst the crew or for supplies, wherever you want. This is some money I came into this evening.
Honestly, I hope.
Take. You know what? Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yes. Look at me. Yes.
It was very honest gambling.
She nods and says, well, I'm happy for you. What, you said honest gambling.
Yeah.
Very
Okay,
honest.
that's enough.
Well, you were at a noble party, I assume, right? So
Yeah,
you
these-
pleased one of those trumped up, so to speak.
Oh, by half the audience.
It's a word.
So we were at this party with all of these highfalutin people, lots of money.
Yeah.
This means they laughed it off, right? I would have been working there for a long time, but
She says, I'll make sure this gets around. Everyone can use a bonus after all the extra work.
take it. There should be 150 in there if Lark's good with counting, and I believe he is.
I'm going to excuse myself now, if that's all
Are
right.
you taking the money?
I'll distribute it in the morning once everyone's awake.
Okay, good,
Yes.
excellent. Have a good night.
Good night, Scoot.
Good night.
Good night, Taga.
Sweet dreams, everyone. She
I like
hobbles
her.
her way up the stairs.
This place is looking great.
I'm just beaming
It
and
is.
glowy. She's so charming.
When we open the tavern, is it going to be called Troll Skull Manor, or are we going to pick a new name?
We should think on that
Okay.
while we're sleeping.
That sounds good.
Good night, Leaf.
Scoots Brews.
Out of character, I swear to God, I think this is perfect for a Discord vote.
Good call.
Scoots Brews.
We'll add Scoots Brews and then 3 other things that the community picks, and we'll fly with whatever it is.
Okay, that sounds great. All right, so we're long resting.
Yes.
Any McInface.
Until 6 in the morning, and then Terry kind of comes around and wakes everyone up.
All right. A long rest. Neat. Mechanically, that has meaning. Not much for me because I'm not a spellcaster anymore.
Good morning, Terry.
Morning.
Zay heads down to the bar and requests a biscuit and egg sandwich from Terry.
Mm-hmm. From Terry?
No, excuse me, not Terry.
From Leaf?
From Leaf.
Leaf already has one ready for you.
Of course he does. I'm adding another day to his employee of the month weekday.
Does that only change when you change it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So far.
That cracks me up. Just like new scratch marks.
Is there any taxidermy in this place? Antlers, ship busts.
I'm gonna say no, not at this point. Yes. There's a. Did you guys take that? No, you buried the dead dog. Okay. So
Yes.
nope, there's no
Oh, God.
dead animals.
We just start to have Terry trophies on the wall.
Oh
no.
This got bad fast.
It's too late. We already left it behind.
That's the next in title vote. Terry's trophies.
There's trophies. And you.
Just the dog corpse with anime eyes put in.
Googly eyes.
Do you head out to the seaward?
It is a haunted.
It's your
Oh,
agenda.
we're going to try to go to the apothecary
Yeah,
first,
I was looking
and then
at the
head
name,
towards
but
the
I can't
seaward.
remember.
Corlan's Crown is the name of the apothecary.
Yeah, I'm gonna go across to Corland's Crown.
It seems like it's closed at this point. The windows are shuttered.
Okay.
It smells really good. Lots of flowers outside.
All right. Well, then I guess we can come back later.
Okay.
To the seaward.
How much later? I mean, it can't be that long, right?
Well, before nighttime.
How long until the joint opens?
Well, we have a meeting.
At
There's no
7:30.
sign, but yeah, typically like 7:30, 8 o'clock
Okay.
after breakfast, you know. You can
Yeah.
knock on the door. I mean, it seems like there's like a light on through the slats
Yeah.
inside.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Check it out, man.
Okay. Yep. And you hear a soft voice say, "Oh, one moment." And after about a minute, the window kind of shutters open, and Fela Lefalier peeks out, and they say, "Oh, it's SWOJ. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, hi, neighbor.
What brings you to the doorstep?"
Last night, the moon hit me, and I started to turn into a silver ferret.
A silver ferret.
Yeah.
Lucky.
I've never heard of a ferret. Wear it.
Wear it.
Oh boy.
Well, that makes me a little nervous. I was hoping that you had heard of that, and you could tell me what I should do about it.
I'm afraid I haven't, but I believe, a cleric of maybe Obadhai or Saloon, some sort of magician could maybe cast a restoration spell to cure you of the disease.
Where would I find a cleric of a saloon? Oh, I could go to the Temple of Saloon, I suppose.
Temple of Saloon, the Emerald Enclave.
Okay.
I'm starting to think maybe I shouldn't have given that money to the crew.
Well, we're going to get more money at the end of the week.
I suppose.
End of the
It's
10 day.
1 day's pay, 150 gold.
What's that?
That's 1 day's pay. We're
One
getting
day's pay.
We're getting a stipend from
Oh,
the
that's
Cassalanters.
Okay. Never mind. Get whatever you want. Cure whatever you want. That burning, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, neighbor. Bye.
So we should prioritize this today, right?
She says, "Would you like some tea?"
Well, we're on the
To
way
go?
to a meeting.
Yep. I'll
But-
take some tea.
But yes.
She disappears for a moment, pours you a cup, passes it through the window, and says, "Here,
Thank
you
you.
can bring the mug back later."
Oh, you are a doll. Thank you so much.
To go tea. This is a great idea.
Good morning, neighbor.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm adding it to our...
Fela
log.
waves and
Bye, Fela.
I'm going to drink this unknown liquid.
And it is extremely soothing tea.
Oh.
It's a mixture of wormwood and mint.
Oh.
Just what the
Jasmine.
barbarian needed.
Oh. I lose a rage, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
Calms the storm inside.
Yeah.
I'm just all around pleased at like the kindness and earnestness. Makes me very happy.
In Trollskull Alley? Or in
Yeah,
Waterdeep
yeah.
in general?
I think Ilka in general is really put off by the duplicitousness that we see in the finery. So this contrast, she's just jazzed.
Trollskull Alley is awesome.
Scoot says, yeah. Sip some more tea.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a chillier morning. You know, it's Uktar now. Just rained last night, so it's kind of cooler. The high pressure front has passed, and now it's...
Ooh, science.
Yeah, there's a little bit of, maybe a hint of frost, but not much. You make your way down Delzoran Street into the Sea Ward to the west, and Terry takes you to the City Watch guard post. It's right in the center of the city in Lion Street. You pass by a giant coliseum to your left, called the Fields of Glory. It's kind of one of the most famous landmarks of Waterdeep. It's where there's these huge gladiatorial trials. It's all very city sanctioned. It's not very bloody, but they draw big audiences there. And just past that is this big towering building with small windows, which is clearly the City Watch post. And Terry pulls over next to it. You see Williford standing by the door, looking impatient.
Hi, Williford.
It doesn't bother me as much right now.
He doesn't. Scoot's fine with it.
He doesn't. Yeah. Hey, Wilfred, how you doing? I've hitched. By the way, I want to return the mug. I'm very grateful for the traveling mug of tea. I've now hitched it to whatever sort of belt apparatus I have, so I still have my hands free. But I don't want to lose this thing. I want to return it. So that's what I'm doing.
So thoughtful.
So thoughtful. It's going to come back with some of that wine that we have.
Williford, have you been inside yet?
Not yet. I've been waiting.
Do I believe him?
Roll inside.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
2.
6.
He seems trustworthy.
What do you think, Zay? Should we? Yeah, he looks
like he's.
I don't think he's been in this place ever in his life.
He looks all right. I think he's all right.
He seems earnestly impatient, like he wants to get on with his day.
Oh, what
Wilfred.
time is it?
Wilfred.
7 o'clock.
Hey, Wilfred, what you been doing?
I just said I've been waiting for you.
I mean, no,
Get
but
this
I meant
over with.
We're half an hour early.
No, it took you some time to travel there, so now it's getting closer to 7.
I meant
We're
in
meeting at
life.
7.
Oh, you were meeting at 7:30?
I think we're meeting at 7. I suggested we get there at 6:30.
It's all good.
But then we stop for tea.
Everyone stops for tea.
Nice to see
Somebody's
Wilfred.
jealous.
That's what I was to say. That's where we went wrong. We did not bring him tea.
He says, "Shall we?" And he beckons to the door.
Yeah, let's go. I slap him on the back in a really friendly
He
way.
winces and glares at you. Says, "Please don't touch me."
Oh, sorry.
Guess the cuddle puddle's out.
Yeah.
Zay starts digging through her packs to try to find the silver ring from the day before.
Oh, sure.
Just to have it ready.
And you walk in, and there's a guard at the counter who waves at you and says, "You must be the Cassalanter party."
Oh yeah, we were at the Cassalanter party.
No, Iacosta told me that to expect you in the morning. You're here to see the new prisoner.
We are.
Yes.
We are, and any of the new prisoners, in particular the female, but also anyone who came in dressed in gold last night, gold and red.
Right. He says, yes, the bulk of them are downstairs in the dungeon. However, the woman we kept separately because she seemed like she had some sort of magic to her.
Ooh, cool.
Yes.
All right, we'd like to speak with her first.
Right, this way. And the guard gets up and leads you down a hallway.
I follow.
I also
Look.
follow.
Yeah, okay. And you get to a room with a
I'm
closed
looking.
door.
I'm looking in all the windows and doors on the way.
Yeah, most of them have like closed slats. A couple of them are open. They seem to be empty. On this main level, there's kind of like VIP prison cells for especially dangerous or noteworthy people. They're kind of nicer. At the end of the hallway is a closed door, and the guard opens it. And inside is an empty room. And the guard does a double take when he sees this.
What the?
Quick, shut the door.
He shuts it. It's like,
Quick, open it again.
She has the ability.
quick,
Shut
shut
the door. She has the ability to go invisible.
and the guard twists a ring in his hand, and this kind of like pink light fills the room for a second. He says, "No, she's gone. We would know if she was using magic in here. There's no sign of her." And he pushes a button on the wall. He punches the alarm. It's kind of a sound from somewhere.
I love this song.
And he says, "Prisoner on the loose!" And he kind of runs down the hallway and leaves the four of you.
That's the name of the song.
Terry stayed by the car this time.
The sound is just a little too much for my ears, so I cover them with my hands.
Okay.
I look at Wilford. How is he reacting to this?
Roll insight.
13.
He seems slightly concerned.
Okay.
I guess I would just kind of stroll in there. There's just kind of check out the room, check out the corners.
Roll
Is it?
investigation.
Oh, okie dokie. This has been a bad dice for me. I'm going to set you down. You've been sitting on 18 all day, so let's see what you got. That's mostly 7, so 6.
6. You don't see any signs of tampering with the walls or the floor. Everything seems it's a mostly wood, some metal in the corners. There's no window, just the one slatted window leading on the door, leading out. There's a bedroll, and a bucket. It's one of the nicer prison cells, but it's still just a prison cell.
Anything in the bucket or anything?
No.
Nothing in the bedroll,
No.
Nothing like that?
No. No signs that it's even been used, really.
Did you find anything in there, Scoot?
A bucket and a bedroll, and I guess I could go for a nap.
No!
Okay.
I want to look at the lock in the door, see if anything's been picked or tampered with.
Okay, roll investigation on that.
11.
11. It seems to be functioning smoothly. It's been greased recently. It's kind of a sliding lock. There's like a couple levels to it though, so it kind of jags into place.
Cool.
Seeing this completely undisturbed room that once held Zilka reminds me that last week I was back in the cemetery where we met Ilka, and it looked as though the tomb where we met had been ransacked, which is the opposite of what this room looks like. It just made me think of it.
You had some tea too.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's a connection to that Zilka that escaped now, and maybe the tomb that you awoke in had been disturbed. Wow!
Wilford takes out a small notebook and begins writing down.
Oh boy.
notes.
Oh boy.
Shiza, I forgot he was here.
But he seems
I
to
whispered
keep
that to
keep it to
her.
himself.
It's too late to say.
All right, so
He
okay.
looks over his notebook and says, "This is very troubling.
It definitely
Yeah.
is.
I should report to my master."
No prisoner in here at all. That's terrible.
Okay.
Was she ever in here? Could he have the wrong room?
Yeah. Wasn't in the other rooms.
It's completely undisturbed. There's no blood, no scuff, no dirt on the floor.
Roll investigation.
She can disappear without a trace.
14.
Yes, okay, 14. You do see like the floor. The people like walked in here. There's like a little bit of footprints on the ground, but there's no sign of like disturbance. Like there's no like claw marks or scratch marks. Maybe somebody walked in and then like stood there.
Huh.
Was that me?
Smaller footprints.
Scoot's
than Scoot's.
footprints.
Yeah, it's kind of in the dust. Like there's a faint amount of like dirt, but
This doesn't add up.
Did somebody let her out?
Maybe so.
Who's the guard? That guard needs a talking to.
Is the did the guy who hit the alarm? Did he leave or is he still here?
he left to go check on the other prisoners and get
Okay.
other guards.
I'm gonna go and see where he went.
Okay, and you get back to the main room, and there's like 4 guards from like the morning shift, kind of looking around. They're like, the other prisoners downstairs are all there still, so she must have gotten out somehow. Maybe somebody freed her. I don't know how else she would have escaped.
Who was guarding her last night?
I was.
What?
Humphrey.
All night?
Humphrey, yes.
And nobody came
The
in or
night
out?
shift. No.
But you saw her in that cell.
Yes, I escorted her in.
Did she seem strange when you took her in? Did she say anything?
She seemed like a rotting corpse, but other than that,
That's strange.
yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't say anything.
Can we talk to the other prisoners? The ones that were taken last night? The
Yes,
other
I
cultists?
suppose so, yes. And he guides you down the stairs to the dungeon. It's wetter and danker down there.
Okay.
And many of them are unconscious still, or like barely awake. A couple of them are kind of like twitchy and like sitting in the corner of their cells glaring at you. This is like long bars in this part of the dungeon. More visibility. Long iron bars. What do you do? Wilford follows you.
I guess I go up to one of the awake cultists.
Mhm.
We're looking for the cultist that looks like her. She was kept upstairs, but she's gone now. She totally bailed on you guys.
Roll persuasion.
Do you know where she went?
Damn it. Man. That's a 10?
Average.
So you go to one of the cultists who seems more tranquil, Just kind of got a creepy glare.
Yeah.
Very pale face, human, kind of like mangy teeth. Mangy teeth, like rotten teeth, mangy skin, or hair.
Ooh, mangy teeth.
Mangy teeth, yeah. So
Oh,
like,
that sounds awful.
Conjured up an image in my head.
Good,
immediately,
okay.
so yeah.
Word manger, to eat.
oh yeah.
Someone's been eating your teeth.
He's missing several, and he glares at you and says, "The outsider."
Yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah, she deserted you, of course. Has she just recently joined the ranks?
The master will be displeased.
Yeah, I bet he will.
Hey.
Or she.
Who's the master?
The master
Yeah.
needs no introduction.
Oh, yeah. He or she kind of does.
And he takes like a shard of rock from the ground and like carves a symbol into his wrist and shows it to you. And it's the 3-pointed hoof symbol that you've seen before.
Okay.
He doesn't say anything. He kind of like gets like this religious sort of like fervor in his eyes as he does it.
There is only one master for the cult of Asmodeus.
He nods his head. I can say that.
Is it John still?
No. John hasn't been the master of the cult of Asmodeus for a really long time,
See,
Scoot.
and I'm out of the loop on this, and that's why I asked.
Yeah,
so
no, it's okay. But listen, we really are trying to we're trying to find the outsider. We really need to talk to her.
He says, "Why should this one help you?"
We're trying to help you. We're trying to track down the outsider. She deserted you here.
He says, "This is not my concern
Or
anymore."
perhaps the master freed her and not you.
When you say that, he gets really wide-eyed. He kind of mutters to himself and starts to kind of dissociate with reality a little bit.
Why would the master have freed her?
Never do that. No, master.
That,
Been devoted all these years. No.
You've been loyal far longer, of course, than
Yeah,
she
she
has.
just showed up like what? A couple days? A week ago? A 10-day?
Something like that. I don't know.
John would never have done this.
I hadn't seen her until last night.
Perhaps she is beguiling the master. Perhaps she's bewitching him.
Impossible.
The master could never be beguiled by someone
It
like
must
the
be part of
outsider.
his plan. Must be. It must be.
his plan included leaving you here to speak with us. I think
I'm
that
his
sounds
servant.
right.
And he holds both hands up and looks at the sky
I'd give one of his hands a high five.
through the bars.
Yeah.
And he grabs you and says, "Free me."
We're trying. We
His
need
hand is
to
straight
talk to
climbing.
we need to talk to the outsider.
I don't know where she came from.
I grab his wrist now.
And then he points at Ilka and says, "There she is! I see her!" as he looks through the bars.
She looks just like her, but it's not her.
I step closer in the light so he can see my skin is different from hers.
He doesn't trust you one bit at this point. He's kind of not all there, and,
Yep.
and you look too much like her to discern for him. And he's just squeezing your wrist really hard, Lark.
You're starting to hurt me.
I have grabbed the prisoner's wrist now.
Okay, his other wrist.
No, the one that came through the bar.
Sure.
So now I have his wrist,
Uh-huh.
and now I start pushing it against the bar slowly.
Ouch.
And now
Wait.
we're gonna start thinking.
Wait, if you look at the three of your hands, does this not resemble the same three-hoofed symbol?
Damn, that's genius.
Is this a sign?
With advantage.
That's solid. Holy hell. Roll it again. With advantage. Get that one out of here.
No! What the heck?
8.
8. Okay, he rolled a 5, so he's like, "Oh, it's a sign from the Dark Lord. Anything I can do for you, please. We are all loyal."
Could you lead us to her if we got you out of here?
She joined us. She joined us in the city of the dead. Last night, I don't know where she came from, but we have a meeting place in one of the crypts.
Do you know if she came from one of the tombs, or was she alive when you found her?
She was just like you when she joined us. Silent, however.
How did she give you instruction?
She did not.
So she wasn't leading your party. She was just a part of your party?
Yes, she was a specialist, they said.
Who's they?
Other leaders.
What was her specialty?
I don't know. I don't know.
When is the next meeting? We'll try to let them know where you are.
He glares at you for a moment, narrows his eyes, and then says, Oh, actually, he's holding your wrist, so you're part of the 3-pointed sign.
Yeah.
So he leans in really close to you and kind of narrows his eyes at Zay and at Ilka, and then whispers in your ear with this horrible breath. He says, "We meet every other 10 day in the City of the Dead, in the Graalhund Crypts."
The Graalhund Crypts. Got it. Damn it. Every other 10 day. And so, would that be, was last 10 day the off 10 day or the on 10 day?
It would be in 2 10 days from this last night.
Okay. Got it.
Our previous meeting place was in the hand of the Godcatcher, but some of my friends were disturbed by a horrible group known as the Silver Waves of Justice.
I kind of
enemies of the Master.
Cover my t-shirt up a little bit.
Wearing a t-shirt. And at that moment, his eyes flicker down to your t-shirt. He says, "Did you take that from one of them?"
I did. And then I kicked the body a little bit after I took it.
Ha ha! As the Master would have it. And he releases you and looks at Scoot as if waiting for you to release him.
I wait just a second longer than a person would be comfortable holding on, something like that.
Sure.
And just grin and then let go.
Okay.
So as all of this was happening, Zay was feeling a little left out and has been fiddling with that ring and slipped it on one of her fingers.
Okay.
Silver one?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you did so, you felt a magical ability within your mind, like anything you imagined yourself looking like, you could do that. It functionally casts disguise self when you put it on.
Mm.
So you discover that the magic kind of fills you, and you can change your appearance. And everyone you see Zay suddenly looking just amazing, totally well put together, not that she doesn't usually, but like a shining, it's by default it makes you look better.
Slightly taller.
Maybe even some makeup. I don't know.
Just
not that Zay needs it, but
right.
yeah,
Like your
just
irises are faintly larger.
Yeah.
And there's a little glittery sparkle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You look like my tattoo.
It's basically a snapshot
Filter.
filter. It's a filter.
100%.
I liked all the holes you dug and then tried to hop out of. She looks really put together, not that she doesn't look all the way. She's got makeup on, not that she needs it. She's taller, not that short's bad.
You tell me, Zay, what do you look like?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the immediate one, before she realizes that, she could also look like other people she admires.
Right.
Oh God, we're gonna have 2 Larks running around.
That's what I thought I would turn into at first. I was like, she's definitely gonna be Lark.
We could have...
But not yet. Right now she just has shiny eyes. And a better outfit, probably.
Do I see this happen?
Yeah. All of you can see it. Zay's right by you.
I think I'm still focused on the cultist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking about how great that tea was.
And we've disengaged from the cultist now, right? So he's
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in his cell.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks. By the power of Asmodeus.
By the power of the Dark Lord.
By the power of the Dark Lord.
He holds himself and wanders to the back of the
I
room.
do a weird gesture with my hand.
He does a triangle with his hand, like
Okay.
an Illuminati kind of symbol.
Nice. Okay. Great. Okay, did you guys hear all that? Whoa, Zay!
You're so shiny.
You look different.
What?
Are you standing in a weird light?
What's your new outfit look
I
like?
think
You said like a nicer outfit?
Yeah, it's just a little bit more lustrous. It has, it's still leather, but it's like this color that just doesn't exist in nature. Or only exists in this one flower that I saw once when I was 5.
Did you do something to your hair or change your shirt or something? Something's different.
Yeah, I feel a little different. I feel a little bit more glamorous.
Wow.
But the only thing I did was put on this ring. Oh, guys, I put on her ring. Oh.
Glamour ring?
Maybe. I don't know. It feels... Yeah, it just makes me feel a little shiny inside.
Do we know
And
what
outside.
it does? Does anyone know what it does?
You can roll Knowledge Arcana. So just have that.
Probably not. Hey, there's your big roll.
To beat a 15.
16.
Yeah, so you can tell it's a ring of Disguise Self. You can cast Disguise Self for up to an hour, 3 times per day for long rest.
Say, this is a ring of disguise self. You can look like anybody you want to.
I immediately turn into Lark. Like this?
Oh man, I look terrible.
That's 2.
But But it's like my version of Lark.
Since the sun rose, you reverted back to normal Lark.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I'm definitely
your clothing is all
last
ripped
night's
up.
So
shiny.
it's all your best features enhanced because it's in Zay's eyes.
Yeah, you're my hero. My swashbuckler. But then I switch back to shiny Zay.
Cool.
So is that all 3 uses then?
No,
Because you had shiny into Lark into shiny again.
There's only 3 ever.
That'd be 2 uses.
That's okay. I just checked. No, it's 3 uses per
There
day.
was one last night as well.
Oh, because Zilka used it.
Right, and you hadn't like rested it since then. So.
How do you rest it?
It's just when you have it and you're focusing on it, you know, the magic restores itself and connects to you again. You can use it again.
Okay. Wilford was here and heard all of that information too.
Correct.
Oh, drag.
Did he? Because I didn't think we heard it. He was whispering it, wasn't he?
Well, Wilfred's kind of standing by the stairs, just like watching you and observing you. He's kind of your escort until you're out of here.
So there's a chance.
It's not really clear why he's following you at this point,
Oh.
but he's sticking with you.
Yeah. Should we get him drunk?
Is he wearing any rings?
Is he wearing any rings?
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing gloves.
Really? It's so hot out. In the frost.
Also, I just checked this guy's stuff. It says you can make yourself 1 foot taller or shorter, so you can be like a short Lark.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering, if they tried to punch me in the face, would it just go whoosh?
Yeah, like
I'm
your
not
upper
actually
up
there.
a few inches would be like whoosh, because it's an illusion.
Okay.
I could be.
So if you guys feel like punching Lark in the face, I can transform and then...
I have a pillow at home designed specifically for this. I'm
Scoop
fine.
feels like that all the time.
No, I got my Lark pillow.
All right. Wilfred says, I'll be leaving now. Unless you're done dallying.
What did you find out about the disappearing prisoner?
There's no sign of her upstairs.
Did you talk to anybody?
He's standing by the staircase. He's like, I've been listening.
Okay.
And a couple guards have kind of come down and like searched through this dungeon since you guys were talking to. Like there's activity all around the guard post at this point.
Okay.
They're searching for this missing person. So.
But you didn't go ask anybody anything about it? You're not curious? Or you just trying to pick up what you hear?
I'm letting them do their jobs. You should do the same.
Okay.
But we are gathering clues.
Yeah.
This is our job.
Yeah.
Well, far be it from me to stop you, he says.
Fine.
Alright. About what time is it now?
Oh, it's about 7:30.
Oh.
This was a very quick interview.
Yeah.
It was. What time are we supposed to meet at Zelifarn?
Noon, I think.
Noon. That sounds right, yeah.
Alright, so... let's try to find you
An
a
apothecary?
cleric.
Oh yeah, cleric. A healer of some kind. Sure. Do we want to go? Where's the Temple of Leeland? That's near us, right?
Yeah.
That's in the North Ward? Castle Ward?
It's in the Sea Ward, I think.
Oh, that's where we are.
Yeah, it's to the north of it's near the it's on the street of the Singing Dolphin, near the ocean, near the wall.
Oh, it's my joint.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Okay.
I would know where that is. That is my family's.
Right, it's pretty close to the Grothin Villa too, or to the Wave Silver mansion, I should say.
We could head up to the Temple of Leeland. It's right down the road.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Do we have any money with us? I have 80 gold in case we need to make a...
I have some also.
Okay.
I have some stuff.
What are you looking to do there?
I'm going to talk to a healer maybe about a restoration spell.
Very well.
That was what was suggested. That was what Phyllis said.
Okay, so you make your way up there? You just ditch Willifert and get going, or
He ditched us.
He's a dick.
Yeah. That's
he's
true.
waiting for you to leave. Like he's keeping an eye on you until you depart.
Well, Wilford, I thought you were leaving.
He says yes, and once our business is concluded.
Our business can't be concluded. The prisoner is gone.
Yeah, we're hot on the case.
Look, right now you are here on behalf of House Cassalanter, as am I. It's my job to keep an eye on you, make sure that you are functioning as such.
Okay. So we leave. We leave the guardhouse.
Okay.
And then we just stare at him until he goes away. Huh?
And he leaves. Once you're out the door, he walks the opposite direction towards the Cassalanter villa. Back down Delzoran Street.
I yell, "Bye, Wilfred, love ya!"
Does not reply.
Really loud. Wilfred from the Cassalanter villa. Just trying to piss him off at this point.
Sure.
Just trolling him.
Just trolling him.
Okay, so you make your way north to the Temple of Saloon.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful building with smooth walls. It's got several levels. The main doors are wide and open. There's kind of pillars, and inside there's all these magical workshops and shrines. Different kind of pilgrims and priests are praying and performing magical experiments. Even though it's early, the place is a hub of activity at this point. It's a very popular landmark in Waterdeep. There are many adherents to Saloon, the goddess of magic. And the moon.
Would I know anybody here, since this was kind of our family?
Roll intelligence, history, or religion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so you totally have a family cleric that basically, has been around for most of the ceremonies since you've been growing up, and she recognizes you instantly.
And what's her name?
Her name is Agorna.
Agorna! Hi, it's me, Lark.
Lark! Hello! What brings you here?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to make it short. I have a blood curse.
Oh, and she says, "Whoa, you come with me. Are your friends? Hello?
Yeah, they're coming.
I'll go with.
Yeah, these are my friends.
Have any of you shared the blood curse?
We're good.
I have more protection.
You didn't bite anyone, did you?
No, but I almost did, but I didn't.
Very well. And she leads you into a...
Stand here by the microphone.
I'm just wandering
Thanks.
around. She leads you into a side chamber, like a small little cloistered area. It says, "Very well, Lark, tell me what happened."
Well, I got bit by a were-ferret, apparently.
Were-ferret?
Yeah, I thought it was a were-rat.
Never heard of such a thing.
Well, maybe it was a were-rat, but I turned into a silvery ferret kind of thing when the moon hit me last night, and it was kind of cool, but also a little scary because I started forgetting about who I was, and then I was gonna bite. I got really hungry to bite Scoop, but then Zay reminded me who I was, and yeah.
You were able to resist?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Is that a good sign?
Yeah, that's usually when someone contracts lycanthropy, they just they lose their minds. They turn to a path of destruction. So the fact that you didn't says some powerful magic is afoot, or your force of will is truly exceptional.
Yeah, I had a really good roll. If I remember.
Roll? Were you smoking something? Or?
No.
I just went on the ground. I was rolling, Scoot knocked me down.
I threw him into a hut.
Down.
Yeah.
He starts taking notes, would you mind if we studied this at some point?
Oh, I was hoping for
take a
a
blood sample?
restoration spell or something, but would you suggest that
yes.
I stick, I keep this blood curse? I feel like I'm at danger of losing myself when the moon comes out. Or maybe you could tell me how to manage it.
She says, "Well, I could cast lesser restoration upon you. I believe that this wouldn't get rid of the curse, but it would let you manage it.
Oh.
It may overtake you at some times, depending on your will. Again, like you said, if you could control it once before, this will make it easier in the future."
Lesser restoration sounds like just the thing.
Yes, a greater restoration spell would require some expensive material components, which I don't have with me, but with the right funding, you could put it together, and that should cure you altogether.
Well, let's do lesser restoration for now.
Yes.
Do we have a concern for this evening or only on full moons?
I don't know. Agorna, how does that work?
Typically, any moonlight will
Okay.
trigger it.
So
But if I have the lesser restoration spell, then it'll be a milder case of were-ferret?
Well, that's up to you.
Oh, I can control the amount of were.
Once the first full moon strikes, then the curse has taken hold of you. So after this last night, I assume it's with you for good, unless a powerful enough restoration spell can relieve you of this curse. Lesser restoration will help you. I don't think my magic is enough to get rid of. I've never seen a were-ferret, and I can't be certain that my magic will cure you outright.
Okay.
Scoot's just thinking outside the box a little bit here. Is this something that could be counteracted with a really good parasol?
Potentially, yes. If you can keep the moonlight from touching your skin.
I do have a silver ferret costume.
Do you want to wear it all the time?
At
Only at
night?
night.
At
What
night?
about a full body tattoo?
Yeah.
The skin's still there.
Dicey because the skin is still exposed. The dye is within the skin.
Well, let's do the lesser restoration for now, and then.
So, what sort of materials do you need, or do you just want money to secure the
Lesser
materials?
restoration I can cast now. Lark is a family
Oh.
friend. Yes.
Oh, it would be if we needed
The
more,
full restoration.
then we'd need
Correct.
money and
Correct.
time.
Okay.
That would be great, Agorna.
Yeah.
Yes, she puts a hand on you and says some prayers under her breath. And light kind of fills the room and swirls around you, then channels into her hand and into your shoulder where she's touching you, Lark.
Whoa! Awesome.
And you feel this sense of cleansing, and the sense of power, and any traces of the curse from last night are gone. Your hair is back to normal again. You feel very healthy. In fact, like any disease or cold or snuffles you might have had are like eradicated.
I feel great.
Yes.
Thanks, Agorna.
She says, of course, anything to help the wave silvers.
I tried to do a backflip, but I don't actually know how, so I just sort
Roll
of.
acrobatics.
Oh boy. That's is that a 3 plus?
That was a +5, so an 8.
Okay.
8. So you do a backflip and like kick a table over by accident, but you land on your feet unsteadily. And she laughs and cheers and says, "That's Lark." The rest of you just kind of stare.
I didn't know you could do that, Lark.
Me
See
either.
your backflip.
How long has it been since I got shiny? Has it
It's
last
been
for an hour?
Under an hour. It's been maybe 45 minutes.
Okay, I was wondering if in the next 15 minutes we could make it to the hole in the wall.
If you left like right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it'll be wearing off right when we arrive.
And that is
When we
on the way
arrive.
to the dock sword.
Yeah.
So
I could just wave a little bit and let him know what he's missing. I mean, in some ways, you'll be kind of connected to the shard shunners.
Yeah.
yeah.
Be the only
We do sort of pass by the Godcatcher on the
Yep.
way.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Agorna.
Of course, blessings of Saloon upon you.
Same to you, and also with you. I mean.
And
Yeah.
yes, there's Zuthrin. So you travel to the Godcatcher statue at the base of it. The Hole in the Wall Tavern is a bustling place. It's a Saturday morning. There's brunch happening, halfling brunch. It's a big affair to halflings. There's many
Yeah.
patrons in there. You can see Vaniel inside slinging drinks. You don't see Dasher.
Once I get inside, I immediately forget the reason that I came here was to show off for Vaniel, and I just start attacking the buffet.
Okay, yeah. And Vaniel sees you as he's busy, and he's like, "Oh, hello! Zay! You look great.
Hey, thanks. I say
thanks.
with my mouth full.
I hear your place is almost ready to be open."
It is. Talk to Lark. I'm busy.
You guys peek in too?
Yeah, I peek my head in because I have a thing to talk to.
Yeah.
About Vaniel too.
Yeah.
Hey, Vaniel, I got a question for you. Got a second?
He says, "Not really." He's busy juggling plates.
I have a ferret problem at our place. Wink.
And at that, he puts down his plates and excuses himself from the patrons he's with. He says, "Come with me, the two of you. Unless the two of you are Larkin, or Ilka and Scoot are coming as well."
Scoot, will you fit in here?
I don't think so.
Terry stays outside.
I'm hanging out with Terry.
Can I fit in there?
Yeah, you can crouch down.
Yeah. I'm nimble.
Yep. And you make your way to the back room, one of the back rooms, not the secret door, but one next to it. And Vanya says, "Yeah, what's going on?"
So one of you guys bit me, and it's understandable because I took the poster.
Yes.
So,
Go on.
but last night I was outside in some moonlight, and I started to turn into a silver ferret. So I was wondering if you could maybe give me a little insight, a little info there.
That's unfortunate.
What? Why? We thought it seemed pretty badass.
Oh,
As
you
long
did.
as he,
You did. So nothing bad happened. You didn't bite anyone else or anything
Well,
like that.
I was about to bite somebody else. So I had a craving to bite people.
Yeah,
we
that
kind of
happens.
talked him down,
Yeah.
but
Oh, that's what the
It was
other
real
halflings do
close.
for me when it happens to me too.
what
Look,
happens?
I'll be clear with you. My lycanthropy, I didn't get it like the other ones, the other halflings in the Hole in the Wall. There was some sort of a strange creature in Undermountain that bit me. It was a were ferret, I think. And this lycanthropy seems to be a bit more tenacious. I can't get rid of it. So it's been part of my life now for years.
Any hints on managing it?
I would say cover yourself at night unless you want to use it. If you get a powerful enough cleric to heal you with a greater restoration spell, then I believe you should be able to use it at will. Which is where I'm at with it. I've had it for so long now that I've tried whatever I could to cure it, and that's the best I could get was control over it.
Okay.
So.
Okay. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vanya.
I'm sorry for what it's worth.
Yeah, I'm sorry I took your poster.
Well,
that's a really nice poster.
It is a pretty nice poster.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. So are you going to be giving that back sometime, by the way?
Come get it anytime. It's hanging in the bar.
Okay,
It's hanging in the bar.
Yep.
And you only damaged it a little bit, right?
Yeah, the corner got crinkled, but it was because I fell off the hand of the god catcher, in all fairness.
There was a lot of shit going on that night.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I wish we never got involved.
Kind of gives the poster character. It's got a story now.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of looking at it.
So, do you have like to-go containers or what's happening here?
Zay just like pops in, plates of food. It's like, yes, we do. They're behind the counter.
Excellent.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to your busy shop.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Best of luck.
So
Don't trust the tall folk.
Oh. Yeah, same to you.
He says to Zay mostly. Yeah.
So Lark, are you gonna turn again tonight? Is that what it?
We might. I might. Yeah. It seems likely.
So the full moon's gonna last for 3 days. If we can get you through these 3 days, then we have another full month to find you a cleric. But we gotta get you through these 3 days without biting someone, right?
What he said is that moonlight triggers it.
Yeah,
Any
Any
moon.
moonlight.
Yeah, the first full moon is what
no.
kicks it into gear.
It's
and
like
then
sealed it in. Yeah.
So only the new moon is safe.
Right.
We gotta get on this.
But first, we gotta go see a dragon about a t-shirt.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You guys want to make any other stops, or you head down to the docks?
Let's head down
To the docks. You roll down the high road. You make your way over and down. You get back to the docks ward. It's looking even slummier than normal. There's signs of violence, like this war has been escalating a little bit. There's like crime scenes left and right down different alleys. The dock, any city watch that you see seem especially haggard and tired. You don't see any sign of Captain Staggett, but the Sea Maiden's fair is still there. The different boats are all there. They're looking very fancy, and you meet Zelifarn outside the Spouting Fish. Is where you had arranged to meet. So it's
Wait, he's actually there?
He's up in the water, and you can kind of see a dark shape swimming around in the water as you approach in your cart.
Oh, there he is! I see him in the water.
And there's like a jetty running alongside that you can run out to.
Yeah, I jump out and run out to see him.
Yeah, and you all run out to the end of the dock, scoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Zelifarn kind of crests out of the water and is like, "Hey guys!" and then like falls back in.
He's so
Zay
majestic.
starts to applaud.
Wasn't he trying to keep a low profile?
Not this morning.
Okay.
And he pokes his head out of the water, kind of like Nessie style. And he's like,
Hey,
good to see you.
Nice to see you too, Zelifarn. I made you the t-shirt.
You did?
You're an official
Did
friend
not.
of SWOJ.
I didn't
It takes
believe it
several
when
of
I
us
heard
to
it.
unroll it out.
And it's, so what does it look like? It's like this patchwork kind of.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, but it's pieces of cloth stitched clumsily together, but in sort of a t-shirt shape with a hand-lettered SWOJ on the front. It's not well made.
he's like, "Oh my god."
It's custom.
I don't know what to say, Lark. This is the nicest gift anyone's ever given me from the city.
Aww. Well, you're such a nice friend that, and you're going to be kind of like the commissioner to our SWOJ.
Yeah. How can I repay you? He sort of scratches his head and he takes it and he's like, "I'm gonna get this all wet going back to my lair."
I think hopefully it'll hold up in the water.
Okay. He kind of like holds it like on his shoulder. He's like kicking with his feet to stay up, batting his wings. He says, "Well, I, as your Commissioner Zelifarn, I don't have much to report except that as I was doing my rounds this morning, I saw something in the water."
What did you see?
Well, it looked like there was some kind of a submersible device. Some sort of a large, kind of like the thing that you guys were sailing around in, but bigger.
Ooh.
And it was under that ship. And he points at the eye catcher out in the harbor, like the main ship of the Sea Maiden's Fair.
Right.
He says it was attached with a tube. I don't know what was going on with it.
Whoa.
I want to go look at that.
That's really good.
Is the eye catcher the same boat that Nim was on?
Yeah, in the
The
dream.
talking Nim in the dream world?
Yes.
Okay. Eye catcher.
He says, so I don't know what that's all about. I tried peeking in, and the windows were pretty foggy, but it looked like there was some kind of humanoid people moving around in the windows. I don't even know.
Whoa. All right, we're gonna definitely investigate that, Zelifarn.
All right.
We could go right now if Zelifarn could take us out there.
Can we ride you?
Well, I mean, you could ride me, I guess, but that would draw a lot of attention.
That's true.
Should we? I mean, we could maybe check in with the explorer woman,
Grinda
Grinda.
Garlot?
I'm good at this. We could check in with Grinda, but she only lent us the thing as a favor before, and we kept it a real long time.
Yeah.
We've got some overdue fines on that problem.
Yeah.
And we could also talk to what's his name with the hat?
Zardos.
Zardos.
I mean, it's his ship.
Yeah,
He
it's
knows
his-
us,
Right.
and he's invited us multiple times.
Maybe we shouldn't let him know that we know that he has a submersible.
Yeah.
Well, but he could still bring us out to his ship.
Yeah.
Let's poke around.
Let's tell him for no nefarious reasons
Yeah, we want to go out
that
there.
we would like to.
I like it. Hey, Zelifarn. All of the magical items that you recovered from the Scoot's ship,
Sea
Plum, when it sank. Are you still keeping those safe?
Yes.
Okay. What was in there?
It was weapons, mostly weapons and charms. There were some rings of protection, some
rings of water
enchanted
breathing?
arrows. I don't believe so.
Okay.
You'd think they would, being on a ship and all, but I think any water-related trinkets they had were taken by this one over here, and he winks at Scoot.
There's one, and I've used it wonderfully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I made these guys all think I was dead.
That's wonderful.
Show him
huh?
your tattoo.
I have a tattoo now.
What?
Look at this.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Scoot.
And Dolphin winks.
Whoa! He like does like his head like rolls back. He's like, oh my god, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
Not just the closing of the eye, but then the little exclamation marks over the
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, great. Well, I guess I'll be taking this back down to my lair.
Sounds good.
Do you guys want to meet up again sometime?
Yeah. Should we make like a regular meeting?
Sure.
time?
Like
Okay.
right now, like every 10 day.
Yeah, every 10 day. That sounds perfect. At what time is it?
Fantasy
right now?
Saturday at noon.
Fantasy Saturdays at noon. We'll check in with Commissioner Zelifarn.
All right. I love it.
Bye, Zelifarn.
And shook, he disappears into the water in a burst. There's a little.
I need a
Gets on your
salamander
All right. Should we find some?
or a zooberry.
His sailors were sort of stoic. They weren't really super friendly.
Right, the carnies.
The carnies.
Yep.
Do we see them?
As you approach the Sea Maidens Fair,
Yeah.
it seems like they're mostly aboard their ships at this point. They're not like packing up a parade or anything. They're already done with that. So as
Okay.
you approach, there are a couple kind of lounging around the docks, but mostly they're all on board the two ships that are moored in the harbor.
Because Sea Maiden's Fair is ending.
They do it once every I can't remember what I said, every fortnight or every 2 fortnights.
Oh, okay. So they're going to be around for a
yeah,
while.
so
They're
it's
not
like a
like
cycle.
moving ports.
Yep.
Okay.
They're going to be around for a bit.
I hail one of the sailors and ask them if they can help us get in contact with Zardos. Excuse me, Zardos said we should come out to his ship whenever we felt like it.
And one of the sailors kind of watches you carefully, and then looks at another one, kind of whispers to him, and then you see the sailor kind of whisper a spell into the air, and this sort of like visible like strand of light comes out of his mouth and like streaks off towards the eye catcher, the ship out in the harbor.
Ooh.
And he says, "Just wait for a response."
Whoa, that was cool. You were just talking to Zardos?
Well, I sent him a message.
What? Just with your mouth? You didn't need a sending stone or anything.
It was a sending spell, my friend.
That's amazing.
Did you tell him that it was Zay? Because he's going to want to see me.
He furrows his brow and whispers into the air again, and the message flies off.
Thank
He raises
you.
his eyebrows at you. He says,
Zay resists an
"So
impulse
why
to
are
hugging.
you lot here?
Zardos invited us.
Yeah, to visit Zardos.
You're friends of his?
Yeah.
More friends. Very well. Hold
More
tight."
friends? He
And,
said.
and after about 5 minutes, another message comes back. He goes into the guy's ear, and he says, "Sounds like Zardos is on his way.
Great.
Caught him at a good time."
Well, we were hoping to go to him.
And you see a dinghy kind of leaving the eye catcher and sailing towards you.
More friends, you said it. So, have other friends stopped by today?
Zardos has many friends and admirers.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Of course he does. He's Zardos.
Of course, he had some for brunch today.
Ah, that's Zardos.
And they're kind of looking uncomfortable at this point. They don't usually talk this much to strangers.
Thanks for your help. We're SWOJ.
I could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. We heard about you over the last week.
Yeah. Good stuff, I hope.
Could I use, using my my knowledge as a sailor, could I use any of that sort of lingo or dialect to kind of ingratiate myself with them to see if anything strange has been going on that they feel like talking about?
Roll insight.
Insight. That would be 12.
You sense that they just seem like they don't generally talk to outsiders. Like they have this sort of like connection with everyone who's part of the crew.
Outsiders from the carnival or outsiders?
Outsiders from beyond the carnival.
Beyond the carnival.
Like people from Waterdeep.
Okay.
They stick to their
Gotcha.
commitments.
Yeah.
And aboard this dinghy, kind of like standing, almost like a figurehead upon the prow, with one knee up.
Captain Morgan.
Amazing hat.
His way
wearing barely anything. Is Zardo Zor, looking slightly tired, but only just the faintest amount. And he says, "My friends, I bid you welcome. Would you join me aboard the Eye Catcher?
Yes, definitely. Nice to see you again.
Just in time for lunch. It's good to see you too. I'm glad you made it out of that caper last night."
Yeah, that party was crazy.
And he invites you to jump onto the dinghy with him. It seems to be magically powered.
I jump in too.
And the carnies kind of roll their eyes. And he points back towards the ship, and the dinghy takes off. Scoot, did you jump onto?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm kind of thinking about how fast does it go?
Oh, pretty slowly.
Oh, I was gonna water ski, but okay.
It's not like no, it's smoothly sails along.
Yeah, I know that'd be just dragging me. No, I get it.
You could swim, I guess, maybe even faster. But yeah.
Oh god.
Okay, and you get up to the Eye Catcher, and you recognize the ship from your time on it in the other Waterdeep, and a rope is hanging, and he kind of like vaults up it nimbly like he has in the past.
I try to do that too.
He beckons you up. Roll acrobatics.
That's 5.
You fall into the water.
God damn it.
The rope's a little bit wet, and you kind of sink right in.
Ah, you gave me the wet rope, you slide
Roll
down.
perception.
14.
14. As you fall underwater, you do notice the faint inclination of lights below you. Or something underwater. Before you kind of like surface again from the buoyancy of the water.
Oh. Okay. Is he looking at me now? He's like laughing, having a good chuckle?
Yes, and he offers an arm.
Oh, I said, I think I saw something under the water line. I will be right back. And before he can say anything, I go back under just to kind of peek around.
Scope it out?
Yeah. Now, I'm not going long. I'm just, no more than 30 seconds. But I want to go under and look, pretend I'm looking for a crack.
He does that sometimes. He'll jump at a rope and then fall, and he's clumsy.
He's just at home in the water.
And Zardos has the biggest arch on his eyebrow you've ever seen. He's kind of like just grinning, like this is ridiculous, and I love it. Scoot, as you're going down there, you kind of like swim down maybe 10 feet or so.
Yeah, I'm not going too far.
You see the impression of faint red lights coming from this metallic submersible that's like anchored to the bottom of the Eye Catcher. It's got like a glass kind of viewport along the front of it.
Okay.
It's kind of shaped like a manta ray.
Yeah.
Sort of like episode 1 bongos, actually, but bigger. Okay. It's mostly metal, and there's a big like access tube, kind of maybe like 5 feet wide. Okay. Connecting it up to the bottom of the Eye Catcher. Okay. Do you go check out the viewport, or just kind of like from the side, kind of look at it?
No, I'm not going much further than this. I just kind of want to get a look at it, and I can kind of. Am I able to tell the scale of how far down it goes? I kind of want to just kind of get dimensions so that I can relay them later.
How far down, like
how just no, like how what it was like? Is it 1 floor, 2 floors?
It looks like it might have 2 levels.
2 levels.
Yeah, it's maybe 50 feet wide, like from manta ray width.
Yeah, and that's the information I'm trying to get. Yep. Any other?
It's shorter and wider than the Eye Catcher.
Okay, it's shorter and wider than the Eye Catcher.
Yep.
Any other significant markings on the outside? Access ports.
It's pretty smooth, welded metal. Like it's not like robotic like the apparatus of Qualish. It's more like this beautiful, sleek submersible.
I want to look at the underside of the Eye Catcher itself. Mm-hmm. Find 1 barnacle, break it off, and bring it back up.
Okay, you do. There's plenty.
So I go, I got it, And then I throw it away. I go, it's remarkably clean under there, aside from that one. And then I climb up.
Zardos laughs and looks at you very knowingly. And says, yes, we like to keep our ships in top condition.
Yes. I'm quite impressed.
For a carnival that travels as much as us,
Yep.
We've been moored here for weeks now, but we still like to be ready to leave just in case.
Just in case, yep.
You never know when the public opinion is going to turn against you.
And I take off my do-rag and I wring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go, so what have you guys been up to? And then tie it back up.
Waiting for you.
All right, let's go.
Okay, and he welcomes you to his cabin, where there's a wide dining table laid out. And here we go. I've got text for it. The deck is covered in golden filigree. There's purple curtains festooned with silken tassels. The wood paneling is scented with perfume. And there's a magnificent feast laid out on golden platters sprawling atop this mahogany table with exquisite craftsmanship. Even the doilies are magnificent. And he kind of takes a place behind all of them with a wine glass in his hand and says, welcome aboard the Eye Catcher. Now, how may I assist you, my friends?
The last time we were here in that alternate universe, we met Nim.
Yes.
And we were
Old
hoping to meet him again.
You just came here to meet Nim as a social call?
That was one of the things.
Well,
I've been thinking about him since that day.
Yes, and he says, well, I believe he's below decks, and he kind of walks, he quickly bounces towards the doorway and kind of signals to one of the other crewmen. And it's all men on this deck, which is a little odd. They're all kind of just watching you warily as you go to the deck. But one of them just disappears below decks, and after about a minute, he comes back up with this Nimblewright, this small wooden creature with it's got kind of silver feathers for hair. It's very beautiful. It looks kind of bespoke, every piece of it is handcrafted. And the creature kind of trots up behind them and waves at you. Nods.
Nim!
The creature looks at you and says, this one does not know you.
Well, I'm glad we're here so we can get to know each other. Do you want to have some lunch?
This one does not need food. And it looks at Zardos. And Zardos is like, don't worry about it, Nim. They just are interested in you. You're cool. And the creature just kind of stands there, robotic. It seems to be sort of not as personable as the one that was in the dream world.
Zardos, is this your personal Nim?
Zardos says that we have several. We brought a shipment from Lantan. We've been selling them around the city to those who can afford.
Is this one more advanced?
No, this is just my personal Nim. We call him Nim. It's a Nimblewright. There are many like it, but they each have their own quirks.
They were doing amazing stunts and tricks at the party last
I
night.
agree. You like that?
Yeah, I loved
that.
it.
Yeah.
You taught them that?
That routine, yes.
That was
They're
fantastic.
very quick studies, the Nimblewrights.
Are they manufactured? Are they created,
Yes.
constructed by you?
They're built by artificers in Lantan, far to the west.
These are amazing.
I agree. I think they'll be a great service in Waterdeep in the future. I think every noble house should have at least one. It says if you'd like one, they're 25,000 gold pieces. It
We'll think about it.
says Lark.
At some point, possibly, we might be interested.
Well, in the meantime, would you help me enjoy this lunch? And he sits down and he starts to eat. It's got steak. It's delicious.
Absolutely. We should also, we're opening a tavern, and we're serving a bunch of Zardoz Zord branded wines and spirits.
From the Stout Fellows.
From the Stout Fellows.
Amazing.
Yes, yeah. We were wondering maybe you would like to come by sometime.
Yes, are you having a grand opening?
We are. We haven't picked a date yet, but we were thinking maybe we could do a cross-promotional thing with the fair.
Yes, certainly.
That would
I'd
be
be more than happy
fantastic.
to,
Great
to
friends,
bring you more
Zardos.
customers. Well, I try to be a friend to friends, and you seem like such capable people. You've survived 2 attacks on your lives at this point.
Yeah.
Just 2?
It's funny how that keeps happening to us.
Yeah, what is that all about?
So, since we met in that alternate dimension, have you had anything like that happen to you again?
Like a dream sort of thing like that?
Mm-hmm.
He says, no, I believe that was related to the intellect of ours that the Xanathar is using.
Did you... So it seemed weird to me that, it was us in there, and it was you and Nim, and everyone else seemed not affected or not from our world. I mean, what are the odds that we would happen to meet up and be able to help one another in that strange world?
He says, I think it's just fate. I think we were both close enough to whatever blast sent us there. I think what we saw of my ships and my crew was an attempt at modeling the Sea Maiden's fare by another power, another party. I don't think that the rest of my crew was even taken there. I asked them, and none of them had any recollection of being taken there, you know?
Yeah, and the Nim that was on that ship, would you think that was just a figment as well?
He says, I believe so. And as he says that, the nimble right next to him fills up his wine glass and he takes another big gulp of it. He says, well, I hope that I can maybe draw some attention to you. My interest is, as an entertainer, I like to make people forget about politics and problems for a while, so I can definitely, you know, let everyone know that your tavern, does it have a name yet?
It doesn't yet. But it's at Troll Skull Manor.
Troll Skull Manor is a place where they can set their worries aside.
Yes. Definitely.
Certainly. He says, come, eat, drink.
Pardon me you look a little bit tired, like a little bit worse for wear than the last time we saw you.
Yeah, well, I was at a party until midnight, just like you.
Yeah, but look at me, I look great. Except for that little dip I had to take just now because someone threw me a wet rope.
He rubs his temples and says, you know what?
Yeah,
not all of us have the time to get a full night's sleep.
Oh.
And I'm afraid you caught me on one of my busier days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'll take the note with grace and try to get some sleep tonight.
I'm concerned for you.
He says, it's hard to get a full night's sleep sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And he looks around.
No.
Maybe you don't, sorry.
Do you have a toddler?
He starts eating, unless you guys have other questions or want to talk to him about something.
Zay looks for something she hasn't tried before and tries that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look at the rest of your ship?
Excuse me?
I want to just look around. This is a fantastic ship. I haven't been on anything this big before.
Yeah, Scoot used to be on the Sea Plum, and he's kind of, you know, before he left it, they were floating, and after he left, they weren't floating anymore. So clearly there's something about him that's good for ships. You should let him look at your ship.
Or don't let me leave, because then it might not be floating anymore.
Don't say that.
He says, I'll give you a tour of the eye catcher, the lower level where we keep some of the circus supplies.
Oh.
And he said, come with me. And he shows you down into the lower level. There's all these different cabins where different crew people stay. Mm-hmm. There's some nicer looking bedrooms that have like fancy purple text on them. He says, those are my rooms.
Oh.
You should be so lucky as to enter sometime.
Can I just peek?
Come
on!
He knocks on the door and he pokes his head in and says, yes, but shh, come in quietly.
All right.
And you peek inside and there's like this huge bed with like hanging curtains around it. There seem to be like one or two bodies on the bed, like sleeping still, like kind of feminine looking. It's not really clear what's going on. And he's like, yes, that's my bedroom. Shh. And he closes the door. It's kind of creepy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. You keep your room in the bottom, huh? See, I'd put mine up towards the top.
No, I mean, I have my cabin, my captain's cabin, then I have my sleeping quarters. You know, you need privacy.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I didn't go on the tour. Are there any unspent things from the ring? You said
there's one.
There's one unspent.
Yep.
I would like to, at some point during this tour, before they come back, I would like to use the ring.
To do what?
Turn into Zardos.
Ooh. Really short Zardos.
A really short Zardos.
Okay. It's doable.
Or I could have you do it. Who's more of a height? Probably Scoot.
How tall is Zardos?
He's actually more Lark's height, yeah, or Ilka's height.
Yeah.
Scoot's taller.
Which one of you wants to be Zardos and ask to see the submersible?
I'll do it.
Okay, I give the ring to Ilka.
I put the ring on my finger and I visualize Zardos in as much detail as I can.
Sure. So you're downstairs.
I would have been
better.
better
Are you
at
upstairs too, or are you?
I think I came with Scoot.
So Zay or Ilka, you morph into a visage of Zardos Zord, approximately the right height and everything else. Roll, let's say, persuasion or deception. It'd be deception, 100%. So 6 plus your charisma is 9.
10.
10. Okay.
Should you try to bring me with you, Ilka, or should I just stay here and keep eating?
And you stride out of the captain's cabin as Zay and Zardos. What do you do?
Okay, I accompany.
There's various crewmen kind of tidying up the ship.
Say, what's your plan?
Why, yes, Zardos. I would like to see what you are keeping under your ship. Is there someone who can take us down there?
And immediately one of the crew members turns towards you, sees you, and approaches Zardos and kind of like whispers in your ear something. Do you speak Elvish?
Yes.
Sweat.
It speaks to you in a weird dialect of Elvish. It says, are you sure these ones can be trusted?
Absolutely. This one's very easily entertained.
And at that, the drow puts his hand on your shoulder. And the illusion, there's like an illusion that kind of fizzles in between the two of you. And you see that his hand is the skin of a drow. And your illusion kind of fades around you as well for a second. And then he sees you for what you really are. And he shouts and steps back and looks at his hand and it morphs back into a human hand again. And he looks at you for a second and says, you should leave now.
Ha! You passed the test! Ilka, you can give me the ring back now.
You still look like Zardos, but you're standing there stunned. And he has his hand on his sword at this point, the crew person.
Guys, no one else is here but her.
And then he says something in Elvish again,
'Cause
under
we
his
have-
breath, and a message
we-
streaks from his mouth into the cabin to wherever these two disappeared to. And you guys see a message go into Zardos' ear. And he turns and looks upstairs. He says, perhaps we should leave. And he invites you to come with him back up to the main deck.
We come with a message from Bragan Darth.
You say that? Mm-hmm. And the crewman just looks at you.
No, not for you? Okay. Spread the word.
And he's kind of like, he's looking at the other crew people. There's like maybe 5 people up here, and he's kind of beckoning them over, and they're all kind of watching you from different points on the ship. As Zardos and you two come back up.
Yeah,
I
like
guess. What's going on, Zardos?
Stride over to Zardos. I remove my ring. I return to myself.
He says, an improvement.
I broadly shake his hand and I say, Zardos, you have the most trustworthy crew I have ever encountered. They would never betray you.
He says, I agree. 100%. And he looks around and then says, now, I would like to know why you were impersonating me.
What?
Ilka, what?
You have a ring too?
We have one ring between us.
Oh, what the hell?
I dared her to do it. I'm sorry.
We leave these two
You guys
alone?
were gone for so long.
We had barely even got downstairs. We only got to peek into Zardos' bedroom.
Yeah.
Why didn't I go?
It's interesting.
He's looking at Ilka at this point. He's just perplexed. He ignores you.
Ah, damn it.
He says, so, perhaps we should each tell each other some stories, yes? Would you join me back in my cabin? And he gestures to his crew like some hand signals, and they all kind of like take a step back and take their hands off their weapons and disregard you. He says, come with me, please.
We follow him into his cabin.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I follow him too.
Yep.
And he says, from at the head of the table again, perhaps we should restart this meeting. Welcome to my cabin. I am the leader of Bragan Darth.
What?
Yes. Again, it's a pleasure. He takes off his hat, and as he takes off his hat and takes a bow, his visage morphs into a drow, wearing purple finery.
What'd you do with Zardos?
And he says, my name is Jarlaxle. It's a pleasure to finally meet you face to face.
Nice to
It's
meet
a long
you
time coming, really.
too, Jarlaxle.
Yes, and he puts the hat back on, and boom, he's back into Zardos' Zord again.
That's amazing.
That's the hat we should have got you.
No kidding.
And let's call it right there. That's the beginning of the episode.
Yay! Dun, 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 dun.
Twin Portals is produced and edited by Scott Hebert. The adventure is created by our Dungeon Master, Matthias Valero, and the rest of the Silver Waves of Justice are played by Kendra Carlson, Beth Brophy, and Justin Peck. Thank you so much to Leeland Campana for use of his song Avernum as our theme song. Thank you so much to the Renegade Theater Company, Tiacha Zaccone, and Mary Fox for supporting us and giving us a place to record. And make sure you check out some of our other favorite local podcasts, Horror Rewind, The Nearest Stars, and Take It With You. If you want more Twin Portals goodness in your life, come chat with us in our Discord server. Details are available on our Facebook page, make sure you follow that too, as well as our mostly inactive Instagram and Twitter pages. Again, thank you so much for listening to Twin Portals.